You're listening to BL in the Air. My name is Shy.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are going to be going over the rest of the Heart Killers, which we talked about the first half last week. And then this week we're going to go over and discuss the entire second half. But before we get into that, Alex, what's in the air with you?
So, yesterday I finally watched I Told Sunset About You.
Yay,
I,
finally.
I didn't realize how short it was. Like 5 episodes is nothing. Um,
Yeah, it's super short.
like they're definitely longer episodes because I think they're like an hour 20-ish, but still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good. Like
Mm-hmm.
might be one of my like top BLs now. Um,
I know. I need to rewatch it because I watched it like a long time ago and I loved it. But like when I think back to it now, I just remember like the vibes and not really the plot.
mhm. I
So
mean the vibes is where it's at. Like it put me so much
it
back
is.
into being, like 16, 17 and like first love basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was so cute. I was just like giggling the entire time and like I was so frustrated with one of the characters for a while, but it was like not that I would change anything, It wasn't like I'm frustrated because this is a stupid plot line. It's like I'm frustrated because you're a typical like 18-year-old.
Yeah,
So,
I know. That's how I also am with Gel Boys right now
hmm
because it's by like the same director and stuff where it's like the characters are like pissing me off, but like it's just because they're young and they're like not communicating well and they're like emotionally immature and stuff.
hmm
So, yeah, I feel.
Yeah. I also did start watching Knock Knock Boys yesterday.
Oh, what is that?
That is it's about like these four guys that end up rooming in this house together and like two of them are like college kids and one of them's a virgin. And so he's like
Okay.
he's the inexplicably rich kid, right? So he
Hmm.
he moves into this house and he's like, "Guys, I'm a virgin. Please help me." He's like, "Whoever like gets me to like sleep with like my crush, I'll pay your rent for a year." So now everybody's like plotting to like
Damn,
right? First,
that's a good deal.
yeah, because at first he was like, "I'll pay your rent for a month," and everyone was like, "No." Um, but I haven't gotten quite that far, but I think what's gonna happen is instead of falling for his crush, he's gonna end up falling for like one of the guys that's setting him up. Is
I'm
is I think
sure.
where it's going, right? Which I'm so here for. Um,
Is it a Thai show?
mhm.
Okay, I haven't heard of it. That sounds it sounds really fun. So,
Yeah, it's been fun. It's a little cheesy, but it's been fun.
hmm,
Um,
okay,
yeah. So it came out last summer.
okay,
So um,
cute. I'll have to watch it. That sounds interesting.
yeah, because it's called Knock Knock Boys because the house is the Knock Knock house.
Okay.
So
I love like a college like roommate show.
yeah,
Like
it's interesting
there's
because only
one
half of them are college kids. The other half are like in their careers.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cuz it's kind of like the one K-drama that I love. It's like Hello My 20s. And that one is like I can't remember if it's 4 or 5, but it's like roommates who like live together and like some are in college and then some aren't. So
Hmm,
it's kind of similar to that. And I
that's
was just
fun.
like I love the shenanigans and like the relationships and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been interesting. There's one character I just don't get. I'm like I don't understand what
Okay.
his deal is, and I'm like, okay, we're 3 episodes in, and I just don't understand what his point is.
Why is he like moody or
No,
what does he
he's
do?
so none of them knew each other when they moved in, right? So they're
Mhm.
finagling through all that too, and so you have this one guy who's like really good at cooking, but apparently doesn't have a job, and like
Okay.
which is whatever, like that's if that's what he's doing, that's fine. But like at the same time, like it's just how he's going about trying to set up the virgin kid with his crush just doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
And like at one point he was just like he happened to run into the crush like at a restaurant like he was eating at, and they ended up having to like share a table, but he like didn't engage with the kid then, but he was eavesdropping, and found out he was going to like this gym or whatever, and so he like it's I guess an exclusive gym you have to like find a way into, right? And so, or I guess you could just sign up 'cause somebody else did, but like you can't just walk in and like try it out. And so he like spends a whole day like trying to get into this gym, or like the hours that the kid is there, he's trying to get into this gym, and it just it's such a weird process where I'm like, okay, you had your shot to talk to him beforehand, and now you're trying to stalk him at the gym.
Yeah, that is weird.
Like, not the move. Like, what are you doing?
Well, it works for style somehow, which stalking at the gym.
Yeah, but at least he
Doesn't
got
even
into the
work for this
gym.
guy.
Um,
That's true. Yeah.
so, but what about you? What's in the air with you?
Nothing too much. I watched the first episode of it's a Japanese BL and it's called A Man Who Defies the World of BL. And it's like a comedy mostly. I mean, I'm only one episode in,
Mm-hmm.
so like 20 minutes, so it's not that much,
Mm-hmm.
but it's basically like this guy, he like realized he lives in a world that like it's all just like BL cliches that surround him. So like he'll go get food and then one guy, slips on the floor and another guy catches him and they have like a romantic moment. But it's like that, like constantly happening for like all of his friends and all of the people surrounding him.
Oh, that would
So, but he's like the main character. He's like, oh, but I like women. Like I'm straight, so I don't really like fit in this world.
that would be such an awkward realization.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I don't know like what's gonna happen with him. I assume he'll probably have a love interest at some point, but
yeah,
I'm not sure yet.
yeah. I want to say I read the MDL for that one, and then I
Hmm.
didn't watch it for some reason. Um,
Yeah, I saw it on like Viki or
hmm.
something, and I was like, oh, this seems like funny, and I'm in the mood for something comedy kind of.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
but then I think I like fell asleep after. But
happens.
I'm gonna continue watching it for sure because I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know how it goes so I can
I
also then
will.
watch it. I've been
Yeah.
I've been very hesitant about the Japanese BLs because when I go in, I don't stop.
Yeah, I know. That's like me at the moment. They're just like so addicting. You can watch them like so quick.
Hmm.
Just eat them up.
God, I love the show so much.
Yeah, we're on to the second half, which is we left off where basically at the turning point of the show
Hmm.
where the brothers realize that their boyfriends both are like they knew about their career and also they were like possibly snitches to the police. Or they believe both of them are. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point it would be obvious that both of them are because Bison saw a can't
yeah.
talking to the cop. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, well, I just
It's not a good sign.
no, I would be so wrecked if I was either of them, but like specifically Bison because like Bison like fell so hard so fast, but then also was
Hmm.
the reason that Style went after Patel. So
Yes.
I would be a disaster. Um,
Bison, yeah, definitely has a different. He has a much more rageful reaction.
yeah. So okay, total 180 to what we're saying. Episode 7 actually starts with Bison being just like superly overly affectionate with Cant.
Hmm.
And like it's Bison's birthday and they're just like lovey-dovey to the max, right?
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, and it's like that's weird from how last episode left off. Um
Yeah.
and so Fidel is doing the same with Style, which is also weird because Fidel is not affectionate anyway. Um so they're
Mm-mm.
like at the garage and Fidel is just being so affectionate to him too and Style and Cant are both like, what is this? Style more than Cant. Style's just like, what's wrong with you, dude?
Uh,
And even with that though, Fidel has like this heart to heart with Styles' dad at one point of like, are you serious about him and whatever? And Fidel's like, yeah, sure. And
uh, Styles' dad is too kind.
I love Styles' dad so much.
I do. He's very supportive.
He is. Which Thank God, because Style is an insane person. Um,
Yeah.
um, and then Fidel, this has nothing to do with the plot, but this stood out so much to me. Fidel at this point is in a Pizza Planet crop top. It's Style's crop top, but like Pizza Planet from Toy Story.
It's cute. I oh my god. Any chance to see like Jung in a crop top specifically?
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, because Dunk spends this entire show in a crop top. Like Style is always in a
Yeah.
crop top. Just about always. And Style, like Dunk looks so good in a crop top. It's not fair. Um,
Yeah. It's really not.
so, but yeah, Fidel wearing Styles clothes and it being a Toy Story t-shirt killed me.
Yeah.
So then Fidel asked Style out on a double date to go celebrate Bison's birthday. So,
Mhm.
and this double date it's a BB gun fight.
Yeah. Is it like supposed to be like paintball, do you
They
think?
say BB gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cuz that's like weird. Like if it's like maybe it's supposed to be like
Yeah,
airsoft.
I bet it's an airsoft thing.
Cuz like
Um,
they say BB gun, but like that's not a gun you can shoot another person with.
yeah, that shows how much I know.
Like like that's like a BB gun like will kill like small animals, like a
Yeah.
rabbit or whatever. And it's like that's like not something like you want to shoot at a person, I don't think.
Yeah.
But who knows? They're kind of crazy, so maybe
Yeah, but this is like an official thing too. They're at like a shooting course,
yeah.
like a
I
obstacle.
assume it must be like airsoft or something,
Yeah.
but like just being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to shoot BB guns at each other" is like really funny to me because it's like, well, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. I just okay, so we'll assume it's an airsoft gun because that seems safer.
Uh-huh.
Can you imagine being Cant and Style right now though? Like I they seem fine. Like they seem so fine. And I'm like I
Uh-huh.
would be losing my shit. I'm like, okay, these are trained killers that I am with and against right now. And like,
Yeah.
yes, these guns are harmless, but like actually like
I feel like I'd be curious to see if like they would fake being a bad shot or not,
yeah.
you know?
I'm
Where it's like if it's like okay, your boyfriend's a trained assassin and you know, but they don't know you know. It's like do they pretend like they're a bad shot or do they just like absolutely own you at this game?
yeah. I I think they own. I think is the route they go.
Yeah, I think
Like
so. I mean, they're angry at this point too, so like
yeah. So they're so angry at one point, especially Bison. Bison is so unhinged.
uh
Bison, for whatever reason, has a real gun on him, tucked in like the back of his pants, and he pulls that out when Cant's not looking. Aims it at Cant, and he's like so ready to just pull the trigger. And Fidel is actually the one who stops him and was like, "This isn't the plan. Like, let's stick to
yeah,
the
it's
plan. You're
very public.
right." And it's one of those. It's like you're gonna scare the shit out of him if he sees this. Like, don't give it away. And
Have you seen the show Bad Sisters?
never heard of it.
It's like a Irish show, but they're basically like the brief summary is that like one it's like five sisters or six sisters whatever and one of them is dating she has like a horrible abusive husband and so the rest of them are plotting to like kill this guy but
Hmm.
they're like need to find a way to do it but there's a very similar plot line where they're also doing like a paintball or like airsoft thing and like one of their plans is like to bring in like a real gun to like
Oh,
shoot him so it kind of reminded me of this I was like oh similar plot.
yeah. Have you ever played like paintball or airsoft or anything?
I have not, but like a lot of my friends, like people are very into it here. So
Yeah, I went and shot paintballs once when I was in college. We had
it's painful,
It's
right?
so painful. I had so many bruises.
Yeah.
I don't know why
That's
anyone
why like
enjoys it.
I know. That's what like my brother would do it all the time and like a lot of people and I'm like, yeah, I see the welts. That just like
Yeah.
doesn't appeal to me.
No.
Although I do think I do love a good like laser tag.
Yes.
So I see the appeal,
I
but
like every Friday, like the last 2 years of high school for me was laser tag night because it was like
Yes.
$20 for like 3 hours of laser tag, like unlimited. So
That's incredible.
yeah, so that's what we would do. Was
Yeah, that's other people can do paintball. We'll do laser tag.
yeah, laser tag is fun. So the laser tag place in my hometown is an old movie theater, so it's sloped down, so
Mm.
it's so dangerous just from the slope because the amount of
Yeah,
times I would fall. And then
I bet.
I surprise easily to nobody's shock. Um, so you could always find me because if I turned a corner and something startled me, I would scream really loud. So
We're like, oh, there's Alex.
yep.
Go there.
Or if you hear like a loud like bang, it was usually me walking
uh-huh.
into a wall.
It's dark in there. It's hard to see it.
Yeah. But it was fun because I always had all like the techno like rave music going. So that's what I
Yeah.
think of when I hear like
Man,
rave music.
I loved laser tag. It's taking me back. I can like smell it now.
Yeah, we at work at one of my previous jobs we did laser tag for like a team building thing. I don't
Hmm.
know how much team building was happening because we had guys lying on the ground sniping people.
Yeah.
It got super intense there for a while.
I bet that's like a team like terror apart.
Yeah, there's some anger that was let out that day.
I bet. Everyone aim at your least favorite coworker.
Yeah. I think we all would have named it the same person. That probably not the best idea.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, anyway, Fidel stops Bison from committing murder, which is a weird thing to say to hitmen. Um,
Yeah.
but then we get a flashback to 2 nights before Bison's birthday, and they're at like I don't know if it's the abandoned pool or like some abandoned area, right? That looks like it has some sort of stadium seating. And Bison is burning the trophy that he won with Cant, the dancing trophy.
Hmm.
And he's burning that, and he's just very angry. And and
Yeah.
um, Fidel shows up, and that's where Bison like confesses like kind of what he did, like as far as he was like he was like I asked Cant to set style up with you, to get you out of the way, basically. And so Bison and Fidel are very not okay at this point because Fidel is rightfully very mad at Bison.
I mean, what a double whammy for Fidel. Because, like, at first he's like, oh my god, my boyfriend's a snitch. He's working with the police. Which he's kind of not, but, like, he
Yeah.
knows about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, same
Yeah.
thing. And then 2 days later, he finds out, oh, my boyfriend literally only started talking to me and flirting with me because he was, like, set up to do so.
Yeah. Like
Like, I would,
never
I'd be so angry at everyone.
never love again. Um,
No, literally.
so, but yeah, so they're not on good terms, which is so fair. Like, because Bison's going through it because his emotions are too strong anyway, and then
Hmm.
Fidel's mad at Bison because honestly, like even Bison at this point is like, you can go ahead and say I told you so, and Fidel's like, that doesn't accomplish anything, so I'm not
Hmm.
gonna do that. Um,
Yeah, he did tell him so
yeah,
many times.
right. Like he called it day one, like hour one. He was like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
This is some sort of trap.
Mhm.
Um, then so they do talk about some coming up with some sort of revenge plan basically, and so I think that's what's happening with the double date is our revenge plan.
Mhm.
And so Bison finally sees that CCTV of when Cant broke into their like the locked room where they keep all of their plants. Um, because that was initially like Bison got distracted in we talked about in episode 1 where he got distracted by Cant texting at like the perfect time. Um, and
Mhm.
so after Bison sees the CCTV of Cant getting in and taking all the photos and all the evidence and everything, he starts to fantasize different ways of killing Cant. Of like shooting
He's
him
such a
and stabbing
romantic.
him and like choking him, like all kinds of it is so violent.
Yeah,
Bison feels every emotion so strongly.
he does. He's a little freak, and I love him for that.
Yeah.
I love that he's just unhinged in this way.
He's very unhinged.
Mhm.
I filming that had to have been so weird for First and Tung.
I know. Like, okay, today's the day where we have to film me killing you like 5 times.
I need to watch the behind the scenes of that because I know I've seen like
Mm.
some clips of it and it's one of those they go from like choking like for cow tongue choking bison to like or choking first to just like letting go and just being normal and I'm like I could never. I'd be like I'm so sorry.
I know, right?
Like I feel so bad doing this to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So um
As long as you're not method acting.
oh god, yeah. We only method act the cute lovey side, thank you. Um
Exactly, yeah.
so and then um so I guess this all was happening like the night before uh Bison's birthday because like right at like midnight ish, um the lights go out while Bison is in like the that one planning room. And then Fidel comes in with a cake and a candle for Bison to blow out. And Bison's like, aren't you mad at me? And Fidel's like, that doesn't even matter right now. And I'm like, oh,
Aw.
siblings.
Yeah. They have such like a strong sibling bond, which is like very sweet.
Yeah, it's interesting since they're not related at all, but they are very,
Right.
very close.
It's also interesting that they've like adopted one another as siblings, but like who's that one other guy that they just like don't give a shit about?
Keen.
Yeah, they just like they're like, yeah, this guy is my brother, and that guy, I don't know him.
Yeah, I
He sucks at his job, and he's not my brother.
I definitely think that that was all Lily's doing more than anything because the three of them were raised
Yeah,
together, but then she kind of kept him in the office and made the other two go out and work.
yeah. It would be interesting to see like how they ended up getting so close, like
Yeah.
growing up and stuff. Like what exactly like you know
Mm-hmm.
drove them to
Yeah.
have such like a close brother relationship.
Yeah, because it could have easily gone like the opposite way of like they got competitive with each other or whatever, and or like
Yeah,
I couldn't handle Bison's personality to be perfectly honest.
yeah. No.
Like
Even Fidel is like so moody and stuff. Like,
okay, but so am I. So
yeah.
I strongly relate to Fidel,
Yeah.
but like I could not like knowing how like off the rails Bison can go.
Uh
Um,
huh.
because
Oh god, I'd never want to make him mad.
no, but even like happy or like all of the emotions are so extreme with this kid.
That's true.
Because I don't think we talked about it in the first episode. But early on we see one of the things of how they started because they had to move again to start the Heartburgers restaurant and like basically start a new life over. Um, that was because they were like at a karaoke thing and Bison was like just super drunk and and he like pulls his gun out that he I guess always has on him and like just randomly starts shooting into the ceiling and Fidel basically has to like tackle him and just carry him out and that's where they have to
Yeah,
like start over again. Um
he's incredibly like impulsive,
yes.
and that would I think I can't live in that kind of
No.
uncertainty.
No, I am very much like Fidel. I have everything planned out. I have it all figured out. The moment I have like a new thing I need to plan, all of those details are coming out. Um,
Hmm.
so I just thank God that Bison has Fidel.
Yeah, right. They like balance each other out quite well.
They do because Fidel is a little too stoic and like set in his ways, and Bison sees that and is like, "We need to fix this and have
Yeah.
a style." Um,
Yes.
so after we have our little cake moment, Fidel and Bison decide that they're gonna finish their plan. Um, now whatever their plan is. Um,
Oh my god.
so Fidel and Bison are on their way to the bowling alley, and outside of it, they see this girl being like harassed by what is her ex in the parking lot.
Mm.
And they just kind of like stand and watch for a minute and don't want to get involved until he slaps her. And then they go full like absolutely not mode and they like get him away from her and they like punch him or whatever and keep her safe and then he like leaves um after some arguing. And it's like
Mhm.
it's one of those things like, where it's like you're reminded like okay, yes, they're hitmen, but they're actually like well intentioned. You know, like they're
Yeah.
at their core they're good people, right?
Yeah.
Which is I feel like I'm justifying murder, but you know, it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, and so they go to the bowling alley, um, and then at the bowling alley, Kant gives Bison a necklace for his birthday. Um, and then for whatever reason, Style is also unhinged, and so he fakes choking on like a drink to pretend to give a ring and propose to Fidel. Like he's not really proposing; he's just being funny. But
Uh,
like Fidel like freaks out, right? Thinking that he's like choking. Like let's just traumatize Fidel. That's fine. Um
yeah. Come on, Fidel. You could skip a couple steps. Just let him choke to death.
yeah,
It'll
right?
be an accident. No one's at fault. But he can't do it.
No, like deep down he cares so much for this guy.
Mhm.
So oh, Stella goes to the bathroom, yeah, and while Styles there and Can't is distracted with Bison, Fidel drugs their drinks. So
Yeah. I was wondering when I watched this episode, I was like, where was that going?
I
Cuz does
mean
it go anywhere?
no, because stuff happens.
Yeah. But I thought it was going to be something like bigger. Like there's a couple things in this episode where I'm like, where was that going?
I mean, I assume what was gonna happen is basically what sort of happens later when
Mhm.
to jump ahead a little bit when they kidnap both of them and then like Fidel
Yeah.
takes Style to like the empty pool.
Yeah.
I assume whatever area that is, I assume the plan was that when they get drug, they'd be like, "Oh, they're so drunk they passed out." Carry them out and then take them somewhere and then torture them for a while and then kill them.
Yeah, right.
That's my guess. Um
They just don't get around to it yet.
yeah, cuz a lot of things happen all at once now. So,
Mhm.
Styles in the bathroom. Can Bison somehow end up babysitting a kid? Like this lady like walks up and is like, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom or something," and like, "Can you watch my kid?" And then just walks away.
As if they're the most trustworthy looking people in the bowling alley.
Right? Um, Kant is really good with kids though, so like,
Yeah.
it's not too big of a deal. Bison I think ends up going and sitting somewhere because he's like not great with kids to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, so and then while Style is in the bathroom, Keen is there, and Keen, who again is the third brother that doesn't matter. Um,
Mhm.
so Keen is like at one of the urinals next to Style, and they're like having a conversation for some reason. And then Keen goes into one of the actual stalls, and Fidel comes in and is like, "What's taking you so long?" And he's like super suspicious, like immediately that somebody else is in the bathroom or whatever. So he starts going through the stalls. But this is where I got weirded out,
Yeah.
because Style stops him before the last stall, which is where
Mhm.
Keen is hiding. There's a lot of little things that happen that make it feel like Style knew more than he did that never get addressed.
Mhm. I know. Yeah, I don't know if he like in Styles' mind if he did that cuz he was like, "Oh, Fidel's going to get like jealous or something," but
Yeah.
I don't know like in his mind why he would have or if he was just kind of like, "Okay, like
Let's just
come on,
go.
you don't need
Yeah.
to walk into this random guy going to the bathroom." But
Yeah.
it does seem like very suspicious.
It just it's very odd timing because like Styles a little uncomfortable. Like
Mhm.
he was totally normal. Like he didn't know Keen when they were talking. Like that he it wasn't anything like that. But it was one of those. It was like, okay, I need to get you out before like anything happens, type of a thing. And I don't know what that was about.
I don't either.
So
I also was thinking that.
yeah. So I think that was the first time where there was something where I was like, what's going on with Style?
Yeah, right.
um. So they go back out to everybody in the bowling alley and watch. Um. Uh. Can't babysit, and Style goes to help babysit because Style is also good with kids, um,
Mhm.
which is because he's just a very tall child anyway. Um,
Yeah.
and then we see Keen also walk out from the bathroom, and now he has a gun. So I don't know what his plan exactly was because I can't imagine. Like, I mean, was he just gonna stand there from like the doorway and like shoot and then turn around and run? Um,
I literally have no idea. like, because I would have thought he would try to like, ex- because has did he tell their mom? Did he tell Lily yet about like how they have boyfriends?
No.
Because okay,
Mm-mm.
because
I
I
don't.
can't remember if like because once they like messed up that one assassination, if that's when he was like, oh, I think the reason is because they're distracted because of
Maybe
this, or if that comes later. But I didn't know if
that
he
might have
was like
already
there to like,
happened. Yeah.
okay,
Okay. Yeah. No, that would make sense then. Like, because I he had to have already done that and been told that he can handle it how he wants to. Um.
yeah.
So then yeah, and so like it makes sense that he's on a mission to like kill them, but it was like the plan didn't make sense, you know?
But why publicly in the bowling alley? He really is bad at his job and should stay in the office.
Right? Like he would have been better off at like the restaurant, um, or like literally anywhere else, their house,
Yeah.
because you know,
Or I was thinking too if like maybe he was like secretly in love with like Bison or something.
oh,
Like
that would be a
then
twist.
maybe I know not to get like incesty, but like
They're
they're
not
not related, I
biologically
guess.
related. It's fine.
Yeah. So I didn't know if like it was gonna be like, oh, so it's gonna be like a kind of a revenge type thing. But he just like has another boyfriend separately,
Yeah.
so it's like not definitely not that.
No, I think he just wanted Lily's approval, but he's just
Yeah.
not good at this at
He's
all.
so bad. Like
Yeah.
embarrassingly.
So, but
But at least he doesn't have the chance to do anything here.
yeah, because everybody technically gets interrupted now because the ex boyfriend from earlier shows up and then takes the kid's mom as hostage. So the kid that Kant and Style are babysitting right now. So everybody's kind of hiding because of course this guy's got like a gun or a knife or something on him. Um, I think he had a gun at this point. Um, and I will say Style is Style in any situation. Because
Yeah.
Fidela, to try to kind of deal with the situation, pretends to be the girlfriend's new boyfriend. And so he's like,
Uh huh.
because the girl I guess had gone also into the bowling alley, and so um Style like Fidel like stands up and he's like, yeah, I'm the new boyfriend. What about it? You know, type of a thing. And Style stands up
Uh.
and goes, you take that back.
I love that part. He's like, take that back. You're my boyfriend.
Yeah, and Candace's like, will you shut up?
Yeah. It's
um
so funny.
Yeah, and so Fidel's like walking up to the ex at this point, and the ex like lets the hostage, the mom, go. And he like aims to shoot the gun at Fidel, and Bison comes out of nowhere and tackles this man and starts to beat the shit out of him. Um, and
Mm.
like, so he's got him, and like I think they've kicked the gun away at this point, but then this man pulls a knife out and stabs Bison in the side, of course. So
Oh no.
so Bison gets stabbed, and then like kind of all hell breaks loose at this point because they've got the guy like pinned and Styles calling the cops and whatever. So all of a sudden now we're all at the hospital. Um, Fidel has a arm fracture of some sort, so his arm's in a sling. Um, and Style is like such a baby. Like he's very upset about all of this so much, and it's so cute. But he like
Yeah.
Fidel wants to go see Bison in his room, right? So he can make sure he's okay. And Style won't let him walk. Style is like, I have to wheelchair you there,
And it's like his arm.
right? Like his legs are fine. It's literally just his
Yeah.
arm. But Fidel humors him because I'm sure. Um,
Mhm.
and so they go to Bison, and Kant is watching over Bison, who at this point has lost a lot of blood, but he's gonna be fine. Um, but you know, he's asleep.
Mhm.
And I think Kant talks Fidel and Style into leaving the hospital and going get rest. And Kant said he's just going to stay here. It's fine. Um, so then Fidel and Style go to leave the hospital. And like, Fidel goes back to being angry now. Um, and so he warns Style as they're leaving. He's like, I'm going to leave on my own. And he's like, as soon as like Fidel's better, we have unfinished business. And the act that we've been putting on is over. And Style's like, what act?
Yeah.
But
Uh-oh.
like definitely different Fidel from what he's been getting at this point. So he's just like, the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I would have shot a brick because my first thing was act. Like, I think my first thought would have been, oh no, they know that we're working with the police.
Yeah.
Like, that would
And
have,
like that's kind of is what's happening,
yeah.
but like
I mean, it definitely
and
is, but
Fidel just like loses his cool. Like he wasn't supposed to like hint at that, like that they knew at all, because the plan was to like love bomb them.
hmm
But just like yeah, the 180 from like that to just like this act is over. I would have been like, oh, I need to like seek asylum.
yeah, that's. I will say that at this point, Style is so down bad though that he's like, he was like one moment away from being like, I know you're a murderer, it's fine, you know? Um,
Yeah, he's cool with it.
yeah, I think Kant is the only reason he didn't because Kant was like, they're gonna kill us both if you do that.
Yeah,
Which, yes.
definitely.
Um, so, and then we have Kant in the room with Bison still, and Kant has promised an unconscious Bison that when he's awake, the only version of Kant he's gonna have is the real him. Um, and basically like, you know, like we're gonna figure this out type of a deal, and I'm only gonna take care of you, and it's none of this bullshit from like the cops, whatever thing, and it's he Kant is like sobbing, like Kant is not okay. Um, this is honestly probably the strongest emotion we've seen from Kant, period, at this point.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
where you can see his true feelings because it's been clear that he likes Bison this entire time, but he's also been very uncomfortable, like during a lot of things, like especially like when it comes to like the sex side of stuff for him.
Hmm.
Because Bison is very much into like the BDSM, right? And Kant is not, but he's having to pretend to be to like
Hmm.
appease Bison to make sure that Bison doesn't ditch him. Um, so
Yeah. He's very guarded and just like going along with everything that Bison likes
yeah.
to not lose his favor. But then it's like, what does Kant like?
hmm So but Bison was only faking being asleep during this confession. And Kant gets a call and he goes to step away and it's the cop calling saying he's on his way to arrest Fidel and Bison. Um and when Kant comes back in the room, he gets attacked by Bison. I'm
Scary.
I'm impressed that Bison was able to like get up. Like Bison stabs him with something and like knocks him out. So everybody has been like drugged at this point.
Yeah.
Um and so
Also, Bison just got stabbed, so like he's
adrenaline is
pretty
amazing.
spry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And rage is helpful.
that's key.
Yeah, because realistically, there's no way, there's absolutely no way that Kant would have gotten, not Kant, Bison would have gotten any of this done because
Hmm.
he jumps Kant from behind and stabs him, but also whatever nurse comes in to like take care of him, he jumps that guy and ties him up and steals his clothes. Um,
Yeah.
None of that. There's no way. Not after
No.
losing significant amount of blood from a stabbing. Um,
Yeah, like being like stitched up and stuff.
So, but it's fine because I love the show. It's fine. Um,
Hmm. We accept.
yeah, and so Style is stressing at home like over what Fidel said, and he's like trying to reach Kant to like talk to him about it. So he is freaking out. And
Hmm.
Kant doesn't answer the phone, and so Style gets even more stressed. So he goes back to the hospital, and like there the cops are there and he like talked to like a nurse and he's like what's going on and it's like oh somebody like escaped whatever type of thing and he was like oh okay and then like he goes into the bathroom and Fidel is in the bathroom um or it comes in
How did he
yeah
know?
that's movie magic
Yeah.
because Fidel then knocks Style out also like some chloroform to the face type of a deal and kidnaps him.
Hmm.
So, okay. Everybody's been kidnapped as they're supposed to now. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Just like a day later.
Yeah. So Style wakes up and he is mostly naked except for like some boxers. Um tied up on like one of those like the diving platforms when you go to like compete in a pool. Like he's sitting on that. So that's where
Mhm.
Fidel is taking him. So that's why I think that's where they were supposed to go together. After the bowling alley.
Probably.
Um, and so Fidel is like demanding an explanation, like while pointing a gun at Style. And so Style like tells him everything, right? Um,
Mhm.
well, he leaves out the part that the deal was that he gets a car for getting Fidel to fall in love with him. He tells him everything else. Um, and
Mhm.
he's like, I do actually love you though. And Fidel's like, bullshit. And Styles like, why would
Yeah.
I lie at this moment? What benefit does it have?
That's like such a good point.
I mean, to be honest, I would say anything at that moment. Anything I thought would
Yeah.
work, I would be lying through my teeth if I had to. Um,
Yeah. I mean, if I'm like kidnapped, held gunpoint, like,
yeah.
sure, I'll be in love with you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'm not telling the truth at that point. I mean, Style is actually in love, so he is telling the truth. But, um,
Mhm.
yeah. And, so while that's happening, Bison is taking Cant on a boat, has him
Uh
tied up
oh.
on like the head of the boat. I don't know boat words, so, and of course he's at gunpoint and he demands that Cant jumps in the ocean. And this is Bison needs somebody like Cant because Cant is so calm and even during this. Like it's one of those like Bison is losing his shit, right? Like he's yelling and he's angry and Cant is just talking at such a like calm, even tone of like, let
Mhm.
me explain. I'll tell you everything. Please let me get off of this boat first. um
Yeah, it's like, what can you do at that point, other than just like try to keep calm and explain yourself? Because, like, he is in the wrong, technically, kind of.
yeah, but it's like when Style was like screaming back at Fidel, right? Like Fidel was yelling and but
Yeah.
Style was also can't just and like that's kind of how it continues after this. Can't just stays calm. Every time it's like Bison's losing his shit, Can't is like a grounding point of like calm.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
and so eventually Bison does make Can't jump in and then he immediately regrets it. And the thing is, Kant has like some serious trauma about the ocean because he was in a plane crash with his parents and they landed in the ocean and his parents died and he survived. So that's why Kant was like, "Can we get off this boat and on the land, please, before I tell you everything?"
Mhm.
And instead, Kant Bison was like, "No, jump or I'm gonna like push you in, basically."
Ugh.
And like on top of that, like Kant's like tied up with his hands behind his back. So like he goes in and it doesn't come back up. And so it's one of those he jumps in and
Yeah.
Bison goes over and he goes, "Can't?"
Bison makes him, like, walk the plank.
Yeah, and then immediately he's like, "Oh shit, you actually walked the plank."
Yeah.
Um so that happens. And then during all that, the necklace that Kant had given Bison for his birthday, Bison also throws that into the ocean. Very Titanic.
Uh-huh.
Um
Yes.
and so then Fidel style uh are gonna go look for Cant and Bison because Fidel's like, I'm gonna keep you alive style until I find Bison, and then I'm killing you and Cant. Um, and Style, I love this kid. Style is like, well, at least I won't die alone. And he's,
Ever the optimist.
yeah, like he's dressed now, and the reason I think he gets to live is because Fidel needs somebody else to drive because his arm's in the sling. Um,
Mhm.
and Style is just so sassy. He's like, "Whatever you say, Mr. Hitman," and it's like, "Oh my god, Style, please."
It's so funny. He's giving him so much lip. It's like, bro, you're a hostage.
Right? Like
But
you're
I think he's kind of calling Fidel's bluff on this a little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean to be fair, I think if Fidel really was gonna do it, he would have already like he would have just killed him and then gone on his way instead of dragging it out.
Yeah.
Um,
He didn't like really need him for anything,
no,
but he kept him alive, so it was like, well,
there's hope. Like
yeah, maybe he won't kill me.
yeah, like Stella is still scared shitless. Like we'll see later, but like I don't know. It's it's
Mm-hmm.
style.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
So
So we start episode 8 with Fidel and Style trying to find Bison. And the first place they go is they go to this like love hotel. And Bison's not there, but they do decide to stay the night. And the lady's like, yeah, we have no rooms open except this one. You can have this room. And it's like a car bed, like like a car themed room, and they have to sleep in like one of those like little car beds.
it's so funny because she left them lube and condoms too.
Yeah, she did. She's like, you know what happens in the car room? Wink, wink.
And Styles' game is what gets me. Style is so game, and Fidel's like, no.
Yeah. No, Styles like all for it. Maybe I mean, he's partially probably just trying to like maybe save himself a little bit,
Yeah.
but he's like, he gets way more flirty when I think his life is threatened.
Yeah.
And so Bison does save Cant from the water, even though he's the one who made him jump, but
And the
it's
immediate
okay.
regret.
Yeah, immediate regret, pull him back out. And so Cant wakes up in a room and he's not tied up or anything, but outside Bison is there and he like holds a gun to Cant and he's basically like, you're gonna spend the rest of your life making everything up to me, like, which is a form of mercy,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, depends on how long that lifespan is.
Yeah, right, that's true. um and then Bison says that Cant's gonna die at that house, so like don't imagine the plan is for like a long term thing.
Yeah. Um so one of the scenes that's cut from the show. I don't know if you saw the behind the scenes of this, but there's actually they filmed Bison jumping in the water after Cant.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that.
It got cut because he jumped so funny. He
Oh
looks like a frog, is what they said. So they're like, we're just gonna skip that scene.
no. That's fair, because that's something you can only do like one take of, because then they're wet,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
waiting for everything to dry and try it again, it just wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, that's funny. I think I heard about that, but I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, and he does look a little bit like a frog flying in the air. Sorry, cow tongue.
Yeah, once again, cow tongue and anything athletic, I just don't think are
No,
friends.
no. First, neither. You know, it's fine. That's not what they're here for.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And so Style and Fidel, they're like in bed trying to sleep, and Style like asked for Fidel to tell his dad that he loves him and like to take it easy, and he like starts crying, like just like reality is kind of setting in, and Fidel feels a bit bad for this, so he's starting to crack a little bit.
yeah, it's he he genuinely still cares about Style. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like Style has his back to Fidel and he's crying and Fidel like turns to reach over and like comfort him and then like doesn't.
Yeah. I know. It's like, oh, I need them to be together.
Mm,
And
eventually.
eventually, yeah. On Bison's side of things, he's now making Cant go into the ocean to like go grab fish like with his hands, and
He has a net.
he's pretty he has a net, but like it's
Yeah.
still very like, how are you supposed to catch like a big enough fish to eat that way?
I mean, if he
um
could walk further into the ocean, he probably could have done it, but like the anxiety attack he was having at like ankle deep water.
yeah, he can't really go too deep in, so
Yeah.
it's not working.
He caught some water bottles.
And he did, yeah. He's cleaning up the ocean a little bit. Um, and then after that, he makes him start like a fire, but with like just a match and like nothing else. He's just like using the dirt and sticks on the ground and stuff. And he's also bad at that too. Uh, he's no Boy Scout, I'll say.
Yeah, I would also be bad at that. Fishing I could do, but fire, I've never been able to start a fire.
I feel like I could do it, but maybe like with a little bit more tools. Like it's mostly just sand. Like there's barely any sticks even. So
Yeah.
and Bison's wearing a "I'm retired. Don't ask me to do a damn thing" shirt.
I I love ridiculous shirts and BLs. It's my favorite thing.
I do too. I love like just the English shirts where I'm like, yeah, love that for you.
Hmm.
It's very vacationy and it's like funny because it feels like they're on a vacation, but it's like horrible.
Yeah, it's a vacation that could end in a murder at any moment. Like
Yeah,
depending on how like unhinged Bison gets. Um
yeah, yeah. And Kant's making like Castaway joke with like Wilson, which is kind of what it feels like.
mhm.
And Kant, he's still trying to start the fire, and he like hurts himself doing so. So Bison like kind of gives in and gives him a lighter. Like, thanks, dude. Could have used this before. And then he also gives Kant like a band-aid for his cut. So it's like definitely like, well, why would you do that for someone if you didn't care for them?
Yeah. It was really funny because he like tried to play it so cool too. He was like, "It's because I don't want your nasty germs in our food when we cook, like whatever."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, sure, that's why."
Sure.
Like,
I'm sure that's the reason.
hmm.
And Bison goes off to get some rice, and then some guy walks up, and Kant's like what? Like what's going on? I thought this was like an abandoned island, essentially. And the guy's like, "Oh hey, how's it going? Here's like a full meal for you guys. Like enjoy the meal. I hope you have a great night." And Kant's like,
What?
"What? Why was I in the ocean trying to catch a fish and start a fire with a match? Like." And apparently like this, so what they're at, the place that they're at now was Bison's parents' hotel, and the guy used to like work for them, but he like just, since Bison's parents died, he kind of just like hangs out still and like takes care of the island. He like still lives there. um and so he tells Kant about how like Bison's parents were murdered. So more trauma.
Yeah, I think at that point I hadn't realized that Cant didn't know about Bison's parents. So,
Yeah, I guess
oh,
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he realized that they were like dead, but I don't know if he knew how.
I don't even know if he knew if they were dead or not because at one point
Mm.
earlier, Bison said that Fidel and him shared a mom, but had different
Mm,
dads. So,
right.
so maybe he
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
know
not
at all.
sure
Yeah,
how much the police like told him, I guess.
yeah. I don't think they
But
knew much about them. Um,
yeah, must not have.
so,
So,
which is interesting.
yeah, that is. And while this is all happening, Fidel's still trying to like find Bison, so they're driving around, and like Styles driving, and the Jeep starts breaking down like in the middle of nowhere. And Styles like, "Yeah, I can't fix this. Like I don't have like all the tools and all the parts with me.
Yeah.
Like I can't, even though I'm a mechanic, there's only so much I can do." So Fidel like literally makes him push it like for so far, and then like the road's just endless and there's nothing there. So like they just like give up after a little bit. And Kant is still tied up. Like Bison's eating this nice like fully cooked meal, and Kant like is so hungry but like isn't allowed to eat at all because he's handcuffed to like the pole. And he tries to explain himself, but Bison just gets like more angry, and then till he just like points the gun at Kant. And at this point it's kind of like, oh my god, is he gonna do it?
Hmm.
Like
It's It's very
He's looking
stressful.
real mad. Yeah. And Kant uses the safe word, which, well, I always forget. What was it?
Penguin.
Penguin. He says penguin,
He's
which is their safe word they agreed on earlier.
Yeah, it was specifically when things get too much is how they said it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot it was their safe word when I watched this the first time. And he says like penguin like 3 or 4 times. And I'm like, why does he keep saying penguin? Like what is happening?
Out of context, that's so funny.
Yeah, it took me going on Twitter and people being like, he used the safe word for me to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So watching the scene a second time, I was like, oh no, this hits more.
That's so funny. It's such an emotional. Imagine just watching a show with like an emotional scene and someone's just like, penguin. Penguin.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah. That's funny. Because like it does work. And Bison, he shoots, but he shoots like next to Kant. Like he misses on purpose and like storms out.
Yeah, the way they filmed the scene was so
So.
intense because like at one point after Kant says penguin like the last time, you're looking at it from Kant's POV, and so you're like
Mm-hmm.
looking like down the barrel of the gun. Um
Yeah.
and it's such an intense thing because you can just feel like the rage coming off of Bison at this moment and like the emotional
Mm-hmm.
struggle that he is going through.
Yeah. Like, should I? Shouldn't I?
Hmm.
He's aimed this gun at Kant so many times in the show so far. Like, I lost track.
I would be traumatized if I was Kant.
I know. I would too. Okay, this part's a doozy. Get ready.
This was
Um,
such a weird
so
scene.
this is Fidel and Style. So they are walking just without the car now, just like through a field trying to find anything, and they find a house. And so they walk up to the house and like knock on the door. No one answers. And so Fidel just like barges inside. And Styles like, you can't just go into someone's house or whatever. But he does.
Stella is worried about like
Eh,
the murderer coming out of the woods or the house to kill both of them. And I'm like,
yeah.
you're walking next to him, you're fine.
Yeah, I know. Like you have like a bodyguard essentially.
It's not even that. It's like if you're in a horror movie, the villain is
It's
Fidel,
you.
right? Like it's fine.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
funny though because it's
And
one of those like he's being held hostage and he still is worried about like an actual murderer, you know?
I know. His priorities are always like a little off,
It's fine.
which I think is funny. Yeah. But they do find there's a couple there. Um, there's two men, and they're like fighting and like trying to beat each other up because I guess like one of them cheated on the other guy, and it's like this whole thing. And then they're like, "Oh, why are you in my house?" Like whatever. Um, and Fidel is like he's immediately invested, and he's like, "Oh, I'll kill the cheater for you." Like that's the solution. And then we like cut to the next scene and they're just like having a wedding instead. Like they're just getting married and Fidel and Style are just like officiating it. It's like, how did we get here?
Yeah. It's it was a lot all at once because like they barge in and like there's guns being pointed and then people being held hostage and and then wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, sure.
Cause like yeah, they're attacking each other, and then they see the two in their house, and they are gonna go attack them. But then Fidel pulls out a gun and
That's
holds them hostage, and then the next scene they're all having a wedding. It's
yeah.
like, oh,
The
lovely.
the moment where the one guy was going at to come after Style and Fidel just pulls out the gun and just aims it at him is such a badass scene though.
It
Just the
is.
way that Fidel is just so even killed and just like pulls this gun out like nothing. And it's one of those you can see
Yeah.
like who he was trained to be because it's you see like the stoic like quietness, but you never see like the the gun side around Style really.
Mm-hmm.
So good times.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where Keen rats out that Fidel and Bison have boyfriends to Lily, which I guess he didn't do it
Yeah.
before. But now
Okay.
that like Fidel and Bison are missing, and Lily's like, where the heck are they? Keen is like, well, they have boyfriends. They're probably ran away with their boyfriends. And so this is when Lily tells him that like, oh, you have permission to handle them however you want.
What a
Which once
bitch.
again brings back the question of like, what the hell was he doing at the bowling alley?
I don't I don't know if he was gonna take care of the boyfriends or if he was gonna.
I don't, because I thought he was just there to like take pictures of them or something, get evidence of this maybe, but like he had his gun out.
Yeah,
It's like, what were you gonna do with that, sir?
I don't know. Keaton doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I like missed something with like Keen and his storyline, but
I mean, I watched it twice and I still didn't
um,
catch it.
yeah.
um,
So yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was back then, but now he has full permission from Lily, what he always wanted,
mm-hmm.
to get the job done.
Yeah. She was like, "You can hire a professional or do it yourself," and it's like, aren't they professionals? Like, isn't that what the point of this is?
Yeah, I guess someone else because he's
He
not
sucks
good
at
at
it. Yeah,
this, but
which he'll
he
prove
should have
again.
hired someone.
Um,
uh, but anyway, back to Cant. Um, he's like escaped from his ropes because Bison just like does not come back, so he ends up getting out, and he like grabs he's like approaching Bison, who's like sitting on the beach like facing the ocean, and he grabs a log like as a weapon. He's like kind of creeping up behind him, and Bison like senses all of this, and he's like, just do it. Like he's so like defeated and exhausted looking, and instead of like smashing his head in, Cant just like sits down next to him, and they like are very like they're open and honest with each other for like, and calm for like one of the first times where he is confessing his love to Bison again, and Bison's just like, I don't know if I believe you or if you're telling me lies because you were trying to like, you know, turn me into the police, and I don't know if you're lying now just because you don't want me to hurt you. Like, I don't know what's real, I don't know what's fake, I don't know if our relationship, if anything, is there. And so they kiss, and then just from that kiss, Bison can tell that like Cant is being authentic. So
magical kisses.
finally, yeah, right. Finally, they're kind of on the same like playing field here for like the first time in the show.
Yeah, I think at this point, Cant's life is no longer quite so in question. Um,
Yeah,
can't say the same
yeah.
for Style, but we're halfway. We're halfway there.
No, yeah, because Style and Fidel are still dealing with that now married couple, I guess. Where they're like having dinner after the wedding, and Fidel is still like really upset that that one guy cheated. And so he's like how can you like still love him even though we cheated on you or whatever. It's all supposed to be kind of an allegory for like betrayal and like Style betraying his trust and whatever.
hmm Yeah, there's definitely
And
undertones of that in like everything that Fidel says.
absolutely, yeah. Thinly veiled. And they, the married couple, they like do a dance, and like Style and Fidel, they join in on a dance on their own. But like once they do this, the couple, they like turn around and they like attack Style and Fidel while they're dancing. They're playing the long game. But of course Fidel has a gun which he just like shoots, and it just scares them back. And Fidel and Style, they just like tie up the couple, and they're just like go take a bath instead. Just like leave them tied up in their own house. And um he Style in the bath, Style like acts like he's reaching for the gun, but he just puts clothes over it instead. Which I know like when that happened we were both kind of like what is he doing? Like
Yeah, Because it so
We
the
were confused.
first thing we had right was at the bowling alley where he like hid Keen basically, right? And then now you have
Mm-hmm.
this where like as he's getting in, and I think the point of this one was supposed to be of like Fidel kind of let his guard down, right? And so Style
Mm-hmm.
could, if he wanted to, take that moment, shoot Fidel and then ditch. Um, and he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. Instead, he just covers up the gun. I think is what it was supposed to be, but it just came across so shady.
It did. Yeah, I don't know if like maybe another intention could be is he just like doesn't want Fidel to like
Reach for
keep
it?
using the gun
Yeah.
and stuff, so he's just kind of like burying it for now. But it did come across to me as like very shady. So we once again we were like, does Style secretly like is he involved somehow?
Mm-hmm.
But
I would have been very upset. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. But they were like laying little pieces where I was like, this is a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And Fidel, he tries to say some like, I never fell for you, like bullshit, which
Yeah. Cause
no one believes.
yeah, cause Style is like pressing him to like admit that he still has feelings and whatever. Like it's a very like sensual like scene in this bathtub.
Mm. Yeah.
Um.
Love a bath scene.
Yeah. So part of that is Style like puts his like feet on on Fidel's like chest. That was definitely like ad-libbed by Dunk.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was not in the script.
Hey, when the moment's right.
Yeah, so part of what happened was the bathtub was too small.
Yeah.
And so the way they were supposed to sit didn't work because Dunk's legs are too long. Um so
Hey, it's hard to fit two people in a bathtub.
yeah, and so that's what's happened instead, which
Yeah.
I think is probably better than anything that would have happened in the script. Um
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And while they're in the tub, is it, do they see like a picture or something of the beach? Is that what?
yeah, there's like a painting on the wall.
Yeah. Fidel sees that. It's like of a beach or whatever, and it like jogs his memory. And finally he's like, oh, I know where Bison is. Because he remembers like the beach house that Bison has.
Mhm.
So finally they have some direction on where to go.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So just wandering around aimlessly again.
Yeah. Um So that was into episode 8, and then we go into episode 9. It starts with Kant and Bison bonding over parental death trauma. Um,
Nice.
so love that for them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't entirely understand what happened here, because Fidel and Styler are back in the Jeep.
I guess that married couple had some parts laying around or something.
Something.
I don't
Because they
know.
would have had to walk all the way back to where the Jeep was, too, unless they stole like the car from the other couple. But they're definitely
Mm,
still in Fidel's Jeep at this point, so.
yeah.
Somehow they fixed that. I don't know if it's been a couple days and we just time jumped,
Yeah.
which is kind of my
The
guess.
couple's still like tied up probably.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm like, did they leave them just tied up, or did they
They
like,
just like die.
yeah, did they untie them on their way out? You know, because I feel like Fidel would have left them tied up, but Style I don't think would have. Um,
Yeah.
so it just depends on how much Style feels like he can push it.
Mhm.
So, but Fidel is asleep in the back, and Style is driving the Jeep, and the music goes out from like the radio. So Styles like, can't have that. I need music. And so he like opens the glove box to try and find like a CD or something, and instead he finds a photo of a man who ends up being Fidel's ex. Um, and he sees that and he's like looking at it like while he's driving, whatever, and like Fidel starts to wake up, so he like shoves it in the glove box and like closes it again, plays it off. And he's like, "How's my driving? You sleep okay?" Such a flirt. Um,
Yeah.
and then in true style fashion, he's like, "Hey, on the way to wherever we're going, can we stop and get me a change of clothes?" He's like, "I would rather die in something that suits my style." Um, and he's like, I want the headline to read that like stylish man dies, whatever. And he's like, my dad will immediately recognize me.
Yeah, it's like attractive young man dies in a crop top. He's like, then my dad will know
Yeah.
what happened to me.
And then Fidel humors him for some reason. I guess just to shut him up. I don't know.
hmm
So they go to like some store, some like secondhand store or something to go like clothes shop. And like while they're in there, somebody walks in with like a motorcycle helmet that they don't take off. Because that's not weird. Um,
hmm
and so they're walking around, and Fidel and Style are talking, and Fidel ends up seeing the guy pull a gun in like the mirror. And the way he like grabs Style and like ducks him down and like turns around and shoots at like the same time is such a cool scene.
It is. It's great.
So I think that's one of the scenes that was in the pilot. I
Mm.
think it was either the pilot or like the trailer right before the show started. Um,
Mm.
and I don't know. That was already one of the scenes I was looking forward to because I was like, okay, so at some point they're gonna, be together in this way. I wasn't expecting it to be while Style is still on death row, but
Yeah.
it's fine. Um, so there's like a shoot off happening for a while, and like they're ducked around different parts of the store, and I don't know what happened. There was nobody in the store besides like the clerk, like the cash register person, whatever. So
Yeah.
don't know what happened to them. Never saw them again. Um,
They like ran in the back room. We're like, I'm not getting shot in
I don't get
this.
paid enough. Um,
No.
and Fidel runs out of bullets, and he doesn't have any more because they're in the Jeep, and he's like, "This is all your fault, Style." And Style's like, "My bad." Um, and
mm.
Style's like, "Okay, I'm gonna use myself as a distraction, and then you go do whatever." And Fidel's like, "How can you outrun a bullet?" Which
Which is
true,
a great question.
right?
It's a horrible idea.
Yeah, and like Style, of course, doesn't listen to Fidel, and he just goes off, and he's like, "Get ready," basically, because I'm about to go be a distraction, and then he
hmm
gets shot.
Who would have guessed?
Right? Surprise, surprise. Um, so he gets shot in the arm, so it's gonna be a lot of blood, but he'll be fine. Probably. And Fidel ends up fighting, like tackling the guy and fighting him, and he gets the gun away from him. But before he can get the helmet off of him, like the guy ends up getting away, of course.
Hmm.
So Fidel doesn't know who it is. He does spot like a tattoo, but he doesn't recognize the tattoo, which I have questions about later. Um,
Yeah.
and and then we're back to Kant and Bison, who are just being cute and in love at this point. They're like all cuddled up constantly. And they're just talking about life and whatever. And then that guy that like just lives on the island now, he comes up and he's like, "Hey, two other people just showed up. Don't know what that's
I
about,
wonder who.
right?" Because I don't think anyone, like legitimately nobody comes to this island now. So like this guy must live the craziest like life alone. Um
hmm
and so Kant and Bison go to like check out who it is, and of course it's Fidel and Style. Um
Freshly shot.
yeah, so Style has like Fidel's like shirt like wrapped around his arm and whatever, and he's barely walking, and Fidel's like holding him up, and Kant like comes to like help, and Fidel's like, "Don't you come near me," basically. And
Yeah.
they get Style into the house, and Bison, Dr. Bison now, um
Yes.
stitches Style up. The bullet was actually just a graze, so
hmm
not a full shot. So I mean, this is enough to like slice his arm open, but um a lot better than actually having a bullet like lodged in you, you know. So uh we successfully stitch Style up, and he like passes out from shock basically. Um
Listen, if I was Style, I'd be like, listen, I'm not running from the law at all. Take me to the hospital. Like, out of everyone here, I'm the only one not running from the law.
yeah. Um I don't think Fidel would have done that though. Fidel's still just like, no.
Yeah.
Which is a whole other thing. But after everything's done and Styles asleep, Fidel and Bison are talking outside, and Fidel's like, "The fuck didn't you kill Camp for?" And
hmm
Bison's like, "He couldn't," and he's like, I can't do it." And Fidel's like, "Fine, I'll go do it." And Bison, being as unhinged as he is, he's like, yeah, go for it. But while you're at it, you also need to kill Style. So instead, everybody gets to live for now.
Yay.
Right? And it's like, yeah, about that. You just saved Style. What are you doing there? Um,
Yeah.
and then later on, Kant and Style are alone together, and Kant tells Style that he told everything to Bison, and Style is immediately like, "What? How are you alive?" So real,
Yeah.
so real.
That's what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, and Kant is like, "It's because Bison and I love each other," which is such a bullshit answer.
This man like begged and pleaded and penguined for his life.
Penguin.
That's how he got out of there alive.
Yeah, and Styles like, it's a 50-50 if I survive this at this point. He's like, Fidel's hot, and then he's cold, and then he's hot, and then he's cold, and he's like, I don't know. And
Mhm.
Kant's like, I think your odds are good. Fidel looks like he's in love with you. And Styles like, what are you talking about? And
Mhm.
and Kant is like, the way he was like holding onto your hand during the stitches and the way he was like calling your name and hovering over you, it's like clearly he's in love with you. And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, no shit. Like you'd be dead already. Come on.
Yeah, he wouldn't have saved you this many times.
Yeah. Um so then we're outside and Fidel just punches Kant and then starts beating him. And then this whole scene is so trippy because
Yeah.
Fidel pulls a gun on Kant, and then Bison pulls a gun on Fidel. And Fidel's like, "You're really gonna pick this guy over your brother?" And Kant's like, or Bison's like, "I gotta do what I gotta do."
Yeah.
But then also, Style also just walks up and he starts bleeding, pleading for Fidel to not kill Kant. Uh, and then Kant is like, just kill only me. He's like, Style, uh, um, or yeah, Kant's like, only kill me, leave Style out of this, whatever. And Style is like, actually, I willingly did all of this too, so you should also kill me. And Fidel's just standing here like the entire time, just going, what the fuck?
He's calling his bluff so hard.
Yeah. And Kant is like asking Fidel to give them a chance because they do really love like Fidel and Bison, and it's like they want to give them the life they want. Um, and so Fidel just kind of gives in. Um, and it's so funny the 180 that Fidel does with this because Fidel's like fine whatever, and he like drops his gun, and then he goes to like start cooking, and he turns around and he goes, "Is anybody allergic to seafood?" Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And
Maybe if they said yes, though, he'd put seafood in there.
yeah,
Maybe that's why he asked.
maybe. I don't think so. I think it was to make sure he doesn't kill anybody. Um
Yeah.
cuz really what he wants is he wants Can't dead, but Style not. But like,
Yeah. And also Bison happy. And
yeah.
there's only really one good answer for
Yeah, and
that.
that is nobody die. Um
Yeah.
so Bison and Can't are talking after this. And Bison's like, I want to fix the trust issue between Fidel and Style, which is an insane like thought process to have, but
Too soon,
right?
man. Give
Right?
him time.
Yeah. And he's like, because the trust between Kant and Bison is okay now. And so Canton's like, I have an idea. And I'm like, oh no, that can't go well. Um,
Uh-uh.
um, and then we get a flashback at this point of Lily taking in Fidel, Bison, and Keen. And is like, I'm going to be your mother now. Um, and then she starts to train them. And like at this point, Keen already like sucks. Like he doesn't like shoot well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
And then we go all the way up to the point where Lily gives Fidel and Bison like their first kill assignment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that flashback. And then we're with Keen telling Lily that he failed to deal with Fidel and Bison. So motorcycle person had something to do with Keen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she's like, oh my, she loses her shit, right? She's like, now they're on
She's
to
like
us.
this.
Yeah, now they're
This
on to,
idiot.
right? Um, And, she's like, they're gonna be out of reach and whatever, and you know, we're not gonna be able to get to them. They're on to us, whatever. And Keen's like, actually, I don't think they're out of reach. He's like, they're gonna want revenge on Rue Rat, um, for killing their parents. So they're gonna have to come back eventually to deal with that, right? And Lily's like, fine, but then we're gonna hire a professional, um, that we've used before, uh, to handle Fidel and Bison. It's like, oh, okay. Great.
Keen, you've ran out of chances here.
Right? Like, god damn it, Kane. Um,
Yeah.
so then we have Kant and Bison scheming to get Fidel and Style back at the beach together. So like, um, Bison's with Style and they're talking whatever, and he's like, oh, by the way, Fidel wants to talk to you at the beach, whatever, right? And Styles about what? And Bison's like, I don't know, just go talk to him. And then Kant has to like hardcore lie and be like, hey, Bison wants to meet you at the beach to talk about something. And Fidel's like, why didn't you just come here? And Kant was like, I don't know, I maybe just wanted to make sure you two were alone or something. Like, you
Hmm.
can't bullshit Fidel, guys. Come on.
Yeah. You've learned this already.
Yeah, and so Fidel and Style meet at the beach, and Fidel immediately is like, "Oh, I see what the fuck happened," and he like goes to walk away, and Style's like, "No, let's talk." And Style does the most unhit. Like this whole beach scene is probably my favorite scene from the show because
Yeah,
it's
mine
it
too.
starts with Style handing a piece of paper to Fidel, and Fidel's like, "What is this?" And he opens it up, and it's literally all of Styles' family members. And Styles like, "See, if I ever lie to you again, you can take out my entire family tree." Fidel's like, what the fuck?
What an insane thought process.
Fidel's like, I thought you said you were a family man. And Stella goes, I am. That's how much faith I have in the fact that my feelings are sincere and I'm not going to lie to you ever again.
Yeah.
And Fidel's just like, this guy is crazy. Like, this is a brand of crazy that Fidel was not ready for. And when this doesn't work, Stella goes, I'm just going to walk into the ocean until you believe me. And he just starts walking into the ocean. And bye bye was my favorite thing.
Bye bye.
Just he's like rambling nonsensical bullshit of like whatever, I'm just gonna keep walking, it's fine, whatever. And Fidel's like, get out of the damn water, you're gonna like get an infection in your arm. And then Styles like, yeah, then that'll kill me, it's fine. And it just so much happening at once. And then Fidel finally just gives in and goes, fine, I'll go after you. And Style is like, or like, first it's like, fine, I'll give you a chance or whatever. And Style's like, no, I don't believe you. Just, I'm going to keep walking.
He's just gonna like drown himself
Yeah.
over some
Right.
dramatics.
And he's like, it's getting kind of deep now.
I'm so worried about his arm too. I'm like, that
Right.
thing literally is gonna get infected, dude.
Yeah. And so Fidel finally goes in after him and they make up. And it's one of those of like, fine, I'll give you another chance thing. And then Styles like, okay, if we were on good terms right now, what would you do? And then they start kissing, and it is such a good kiss scene.
It is.
Ah, that whole just from the moment of handing the stupid like family tree all the way to like bye
Mhm.
bye to to them
It's so cute.
to them kissing finally. Like, thank you. This is what I've waited for.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Kent and Bison are like watching, like they come like towards the end. Um uh and they're like, "Oh, aren't they cute?" Um and then Kent asks Bison to like not go after Roar Rat, and Bison's like, "No, I have to." And Kent's like, "All you're gonna get out of it is satisfaction, like nothing else." And Bison's like, "That's exactly what I want, dude."
Yeah.
Um
I would just live the rest of my days out on that island.
then Style and Fidel are like in bed, and Fidel's like fixing Styles' bandage, and I was like, "Don't you ever do that again." And they're having a moment, and Style goes, "Can I ask about something, whatever?" And Fidel's just kind of like, "Sure." And then Styles like, I saw the photo in your glove box. I was wondering who that was." And Fidel doesn't answer, and Stell's like, sorry I asked, like you don't have to answer, whatever. And then Fidel's like, no, that was my ex. Um, and then they talk about it, and Fidel and this guy, they were together for 2 years, and Fidel actually got permission from Lily to quit being a hitman and go have a normal life with the ex, but then the ex just vanished. And Fidel, this is where I would have taken this a different way than Fidel did. Because
Mm-hmm.
Fidel took it as the ex just didn't want to like tell him that he didn't want to be with him anymore, so he just ghosted him. Not that the
Yeah.
ex knew that Fidel was a hitman either. Like he didn't tell him. It
No.
was just one of those of like, hey, I'm gonna get out of this job so I can have a more stable relationship type of thing, whatever. And not that it was murder. um
Yeah. I don't know, like, because Fidel is so skeptical about everyone except for Lily.
yeah.
Like, even when, like, that's the only, like, logical explanation, he's still, like, that's the one time where he just, like, doesn't consider it.
Yeah, which I mean I guess there's some brainwashing there, right?
Yeah.
Um but still, my first thought would have been, hey, I asked to go live a normal life, and then all of a sudden the person I'm in love with is dead or missing. Like I'd
Yeah.
assume they were dead, you know.
Yeah. Me too.
Randomly run away, um, for like with no logic behind it is not
Fall off the face of the earth. No one's ever contacted them again.
right. I'm like, okay,
Like,
like you have connections. Like I would have used my connections to like go find him.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Fidel, I think Fidel has such low self-esteem, to be honest. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like if
He
he
does.
feels so unworthy of being loved that I mean, I guess it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense for him to be like, yeah, that guy just didn't want to spend his life with me anymore, and he just didn't want to tell me. So he just ghosted me after 2 years.
That's
Um,
so sad.
right? Like, ugh, Style, just hug him for me, please.
Mm-hmm.
um, so then we see Keen, and this is where we meet his secret boyfriend, who's played by JJ, I think. It's one of the twins. I'm pretty sure it's JJ. Um, so yeah, so Keen also has a boyfriend, so and he also wants to quit his
Everyone has a secret boyfriend.
right? And Keen is telling his boyfriend, whose name is Not, that he wants to yeah, it's played by JJ. Um and he's like, I want to quit my job and live a normal life. Because Not also I think works for like Lily, but not in the murdery capacity. Um
Yeah, I don't really know what his role is.
yeah, I think so she's like a politician or something like in her day job. And I think he just works in like the political side of it. Um
Mm.
so and then this is such a random scene too, but Kant and Bison work on Kant's fear of the ocean, and Kant gets over that awfully quick.
I know, I kind of thought that too. I was like, is this even like necessary?
Yeah,
You know?
like I mean it's bonding and whatever and relationship building, but like the how fast he's just like fine in the ocean all of a sudden, I'm like absolutely not. Like
Yeah, no, I that would take like a lifetime of therapy.
yeah, not like 10 minutes in the ocean just because you love Bison.
Yeah.
Bison is
Right.
added to that trauma already at this point, so
He has, yeah, it's probably not made it better.
yeah.
So, episode 10, we're back in the city. They kind of split. And so Fidel and Bison, they um Fidel and Bison, they go take care of their last mission, saying they'll have to be separated for a while. So they're like leaving their boyfriends again.
hmm This is where they have to go try to kill Rat again. So
Okay. So their plan to kill Rurat. So basically they go and they pretend to sell land to Rurat in order to like get a meeting with him. And when they do that, Rurat basically claims instead that he's like, you guys have this wrong. Actually, Lily was the one that killed your parents. And she was a hitman for like Rurat before. And basically like she was gonna quit to get married and start a family, but instead she ended up like adopting these kids who she would like raise to be hitmen instead in her place.
It's so messed
Um,
up.
yeah. I think at this point though, I was kind of like, oh, I feel like I thought they already knew this. Like I thought they already knew like Lily was like a hitman, but apparently they didn't know that.
No.
So they once again, they're when it comes to Lily, their brains don't function at all. But I will chalk it up to like the brainwashing and stuff.
Yeah, you know, they from a traumatic event to be taken in and then raised in murder.
And like groomed pretty much
Yeah.
to like do this job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, guys, come on. Like why would she like raise people to do this, you know, if she wasn't in the business?
Yeah. And it's also like he's still guilty then, right? Because he's like, yeah, she was a hitman, but she was a hitman for me. So that means like he
Yeah.
put the hit out on their parents. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Somehow he like shifts the blame to Lily, so they do like let Rurat live cuz I guess they only care about the person who actually killed the parents, and also now they're like really mad at Lily for everything she's done to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that information does buy Rurat's freedom
For now.
for now. So Bison wants to get revenge on Lily, of course, and he's ready to go. And Fidel agrees too. He's like, I also want revenge on Lily, but like we need to like chill and like plan this out and like think about it. We can't just like go rushing into this.
Yeah. Because I think he made the point here that he's like, she raised us, she knows how we think, so that's where we have to like be different, basically.
Yeah, we have to think 2 steps ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And so Fidel and Bison, they go back to Lily instead, and they tell her and they show her that like, hey, look, we killed Rurat, like we did it, like don't worry about anything. And it's while they're there that Fidel sees Keen's tattoo and he recognizes it as like the tattoo of the motorcyclist that attacked him in style in the thrift store.
So this is where I have a question.
Yeah,
If they were like raised together, how on earth does Fidel not know about Keen's tattoo? Like it's on his
I
arm.
genuinely don't think they've ever talked to this man before. I don't know.
But like I mean, I guess even after like they kind of split, where like Fidel and Bison probably just lived together separately. Like I still feel like because they're constantly meeting like the four of them, right? He had to have
Mm-hmm.
seen this dude's tattoo at some point. As observant as Fidel and Bison are, how did
Yeah,
he not clock that immediately?
maybe it's a new tattoo.
Maybe.
Maybe he went to Kant and got a new tattoo done recently.
Oh, that would have been an interesting detail. Um,
Right? Maybe Kant would have been the one to like recognize
yeah,
the tattoo or something like that because he did it.
yeah.
That
Well,
would be crazy.
that would have been fun. I wonder if that's in the book.
I wonder. But yeah, somehow this is the first they're seeing of it. But yeah, it is like in a very obvious spot, so I don't know. I'm not sure how that slipped through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically like while they're like there, they ask permission to quit like being hitmen again. And like Lily grants it in, you know, quotation marks because as we're finding out, no one just like up and leaves this
Mm-hmm.
position. And as they leave, like right as soon as she leaves, she goes to Keen and she's like, "Okay, you need to hire like someone to handle Fidel and Bison now. Like it's just time to take them out. They're
Mm-hmm.
too much of a risk."
Yep. Thank God.
So much murder.
Yeah, thank God that Fidel and Bison know what's up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good thing that they have a plan and stuff because like this same situation could have happened, but instead it would have just been them not knowing
Yep.
anything.
They would have
really.
died.
And they would have died, yeah. And so Kant and Style are kind of just like, you know, on the sidelines. And so Kant goes bowling and he's daydreaming about Bison being there. And he turns around and Bison is actually there. He's just like creepily watching from the shadows. And so Can't like chases him down, and um he's like in the middle of the road like looking, and Bison tackles him to the ground because Kent's about to be hit by a motorcycle. So um they are reunited finally, kind of by accident, but you know,
Yeah.
we'll take it. And Kant is like very moody about like not being able to see Bison like while they're carrying out this final mission.
Yeah. It's I don't know what the time frame for them being apart is, but I guess it's longer than Can't can handle. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. It's probably a couple weeks or months or something, but it like
yeah.
they don't really doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I think that's maybe one of my complaints about this show is I think there's a bigger time gap in a lot of this than it's obvious.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, the pacing sometimes can get a little like
yeah, because I think that's
sped up.
like with Fidel and Style going like down to that island. It's one of those I'm like, oh, it's the next day, and I'm like, I bet it was longer than that. And
Mhm.
it's like I bet it took Bison longer than it felt to get uh Cant down to there to begin with. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Well, Fidel also goes to see Style, and he's also just sulking about being away from Fidel. So the boyfriends are grumpy.
typical.
Yeah. And so the four of them together now, they start to work a plan out to get Lily, basically. Um, so now they're all involved because four hands are better than two.
Hmm.
And so Can't Bison, their job is to go stake out Lily, and Fidel Style, they go to stake out Keen. And oh my god, I don't know like what the plan was here, but they're so bad at it.
For Bison to be a professional, he honestly not good at stakeouts.
No. Like both pairs of them. I mean, Can't kind of does a good job, kind of, but
Yeah.
like um but yeah, basically like um wait, Bison rather oh, okay, I see. Yeah, they're just not, I don't know.
Bison
They
and
need to focus on
Cant
the
are
mission at hand.
yeah, Bison and Cant are like in a car and Bison just trying to flirt with Cant the entire
Mhm.
time and Cant's like, "Can you not? We're on a mission."
Yeah.
And
And so Cant and Bison, they're at a golf course because that's where Lily is, and Cant ends up pretending to be like a bag boy. Um, but like his job is kind of like, they're supposed to be handsome and like entertain like the rich women there and stuff. And Lily's like pretty suspicious of this right away, but the lady that she's trying to suck up to likes Cant, so she like lets him stay. Like
yeah.
he's like, okay, I guess I won't. She like tries to kick him out at first, but he just comes back, and the lady already likes him, so she's like, well, I guess if she's happy, I can't do anything.
Yeah, because initially there was somebody else that was supposed to do it, like a regular. Um,
Mhm.
and uh, that was who Cant just abruptly switched with.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, works out. He
yeah.
is very, I don't know if I would want Lily to like know my face.
Yeah.
Is the thing, but he does get, I mean, he gets right in there, so
Yeah.
that could be progress. And Fidel Style, they go follow Keen to a hotel room. And like, I literally, okay, I guess I see the plan here, but it's just like stupid. So Style pretends to be room service. Um, the problem here is that, do they not assume that Keen knows what he looks like? Because
Oh, I didn't
like,
even think
I
about
know
that.
they've met before, and I know that like they don't know he met Keen, but I would assume at this point that like the people, they all have tabs on all of this shit.
Yeah, Fidel and Bison aren't thinking. Which is out
No,
of character for
they
Fidel, to be honest. Um,
yeah. I know. I don't know why you would assume you would just like walk up and pretend to be room service and not expect to be recognized.
yeah.
Cuz that's exactly what happens. He walks up and obviously Keen immediately recognizes Style, and so he pulls a gun on him and into the room. And Fidel, of course, having no other plan, he just walks into the room too, and now they're both being held at gunpoint by Keen. Also Keen's boyfriend is there.
Yeah, poor Not just sitting there going like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and Nant is just like not about this life. And Fidel tells Keen that Lily also killed his parents. So, spreading the news.
Hmm.
And Style is able, at least, to get the gun away from Keen, who then admits, is like, hey, by the way, your boyfriend, your ex didn't abandon you. Lily had him killed. So that's not, I mean, that's kind of what we expected, but
Yeah.
like, this is news to Fidel.
I think that's what all the hints of like go use the professional hitman we've used before was about.
Mm,
Um,
I see, yeah.
I think that's what those hints were.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I don't know who else they would have used like a
Yeah.
hitman for that it wouldn't have just been Fidel and Bison doing the work. So
Yeah, right. It had to have just been the boyfriend,
yeah.
probably.
So
Yeah, and Fidel says he'll let Keen's boyfriend, not who's there, live if Keen gets dirt on Lily. So Nant's become a hostage in this whole situation.
yeah, he gets taken. Like
And
they
they're trying
leave
to
with
get,
him.
yeah, right. And at least they're trying to get like Keen on their side then, so at least they can all team up against Lily.
Hmm.
At Camp Bison, they have a Titanic moment in the abandoned pool. They're back there.
Yeah, they make reference to the car scene.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah.
they're also
Yeah.
just being kind of cute, I guess. So
Uh huh. Love to see it.
it just cracks me up because Fidel and Style are like doing work, and then Kent and Bison are like, "Yeah, we're gonna go
Mm-hmm.
cuddle in an abandoned pool."
Yeah. And Fidel now has to process that his ex got killed like because of him, kind of, indirectly. Um, and it's not that he was abandoned. And Fidel tries to push away Style, like in order to protect him, because poor Fidel probably is like, I can't lose someone else. Like I can't go through this again. But Style's love for Fidel is greater than his self-preservation, because Style is crazy and
Yes,
he'll do anything.
loyal to a fault.
Oh yeah, big time. But that's what like Fidel needs.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it ends up working out well.
Hmm. Well, the scene though of Fidel like crying into like Styles' lap broke me a little bit.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Fidel,
Yeah.
like over everyone, honestly, because this man's constantly getting like bombarded with bad news.
Yeah. He's not having a great time.
No.
So so then in episode 11 starts with Keen getting the info on Lily so that he can get Not back. Um and I don't know where they meet. It's another abandoned area. It looks like from the Thai version of Meteor Garden. It looks
I
like
haven't seen
yeah, it
it.
looks like one of the sets from there. But I'm not entirely sure, but I think it is. Um,
Uh-huh.
um, and Keen is all like affectionate with Not, and everyone's just kind of standing there like, all right. And then Keen like volunteers. He's like, if you need anything else, to help take Lily down, let me know because I also want to get my revenge on her now. Um,
Yeah. crazy switch up from him, but
Yeah. I don't trust it either,
okay.
I'll be honest.
Fair. Yeah, I don't either. I
But
don't trust this Keen character.
yeah, I don't think we see him ever again though.
I don't think
I
so. He's just such like a loser ass character. Like he does nothing but like just mess up the whole time.
yeah,
Except now, I guess he kind of redeems himself. But
yeah. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't come back. I think this is the end for him. Is he gets not and they go live happily ever after.
yeah, this is all I remember of him.
Yeah. So then we have Kyle. Okay. Can't and
Wait,
Style.
I bring back ship names where it's just like smushed together the two names because then it would be Kyle and that would be so funny.
That would be a weird ship though. Can't and Style? I don't know about that one.
Wait, yeah, that would be weird. Never mind. Maybe
Okay.
not Kyle, but
Okay, Can't and Bison. So I know people were calling them Cobby, but
oh,
it would be more like
huh.
what Kason or something like that. Um
Yeah, Kyson
yeah.
or something.
And then Fidel and Style. I don't know how you smush that one.
Fidile.
Fidel?
Yeah, these don't really work that well.
No. Um Can't and Style do. Darn it.
Yeah, if only been Kyle.
So Kyle, I did it again. Oh boy. Been talking too much today.
Yeah, I know.
Can't and Style. They go to the captain to negotiate to help keep Fidel and Bison out of jail. And that's Rurat like on the ground that they have, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
So they have him like tied up in like a changing room at the pool or something. And Captain's like, okay, we'll see what we can do. Um, and then
Captain's just excited to not have to do any work because he hates doing his job.
right, he's busy doing other things. Um,
Yeah.
so they trade Rurat to help keep Bison and Fidel out of jail somehow. And then in the meantime,
Mm.
Style is like, I'm gonna get you guys fake ID. So he like gets fake IDs for Fidel and for Bison, and it's like the plan is that, you guys, you know, after whatever with Lily, then you guys will go run out of the country and then eventually we'll catch up with you, later and then whatever. And Fidel's like, I'm gonna be on the run for the rest of my life. Like, you don't have to follow me, basically, as usual.
Yeah,
He spends so much time pushing Style away.
he does.
Um, and then Kent and Bison are at school with Babe. I think they were just taking Babe to school that day, but Kent spots the captain there. And he sends Babe and I guess they were picking Babe up because he sends Babe and Bison out and he goes, "I'll meet you guys outside in a minute. I gotta like look into something." And then like, he follows around and he spots that the captain is basically bribing somebody at the school to like get his kid in the school or something like that. And he's like, So he, of course, takes out the phone and films it. Um, and then we see Kant and Style go as hosts to like a party that Lily's hosting, which is she had asked Kant to do that earlier when they were at the golf thing of like, hey, this lady likes you. Why don't you come, work this party for me, basically. And they're having a great time at this party. It's all these women and then like Kant and Style. Um,
Hmm.
and Style goes to refill some drinks and he drugs Lily's drink. Um, and then after she drinks it, Kyle, I did it again. Oh my God. Um,
It's honestly, I like it. Just keep doing it.
Kant then plays a video of Lily like planning a hit, I think with Rurat, in the room for all of these like women, politician, important people, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what is this?" But
Hmm.
they're honestly a little more calm about it than I would have been.
I would have been just like, are you like acting? Is this like
Yeah,
a show or something? I don't know.
yeah,
But this is what Keen gives them, right?
yeah. And
Okay.
I I would have been on the phone with the cops on my way out the door. Is what I would have been. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about this. But then Lily, because she's drugged, she goes to the bathroom to go throw up. and Fidel and Bison corner her in the bathroom with the guns out, and they're definitely like ready to kill her. But uh, Style and Can't come in and they talk them out of it. They're like, "Hey, you kill her, any chance of us having relationships is dead," basically.
Mhm.
And that's how they talk Fidel and Bison out of shooting her and letting the cops handle it, basically. So they hand over their
They should
guns.
have just shot her.
Right. Would have saved a lot. Um,
Would have saved a lot of time.
yeah, and so they're like, fine, whatever. And like I guess the cops are on their way. And then so Cant and Style, I didn't say Kyle this time, um, are trying to like ship Fidel and Bison off to go on the run. They're like, go, like they have like their backpacks and everything on, and they're already like these tearful goodbyes and whatever. And then the captain shows up to arrest
Mhm.
um, Fidel and Bison, which is where I'm like, okay, Cant and Style gave up Rurat. Why is Captain here? I don't understand.
I I don't understand either, cause like from giving up Rurat to now, like Fidel and Bison have done nothing. It's been Can Style doing like
Y-
all the other stuff.
yes.
So like they either could have been like arrested by then, or they could have fled the country by then, or I don't really know either.
Right? Like honestly, Fidel and Bison should have left. Like the moment the plane was set,
Yeah.
leave and then let Can't Style handle getting Lily arrested and then being done. And then Can't Style
Yeah.
can also ditch. Um
Yeah. So I don't know why they're still hung around, but
yeah. So
yeah.
um so Captain's there and there's guns pointed back and forth, right? And Cant's trying to like do everything he can to like negotiate for Fidel and Bison to like be able to like go on the run and whatever or get out of prison and whatever and finally Fidel and Bison just agree to give up basically. They're like we don't actually want to
Mhm.
go on the run. And then Can't basically uses his blackmail that he has of the video of the captain like bribing the school person to get a deal where Fidel and Bison only go to prison for 5 years, which is not how any of this works. Like I don't know much about um how law and things work in
Thai law.
Thailand, but like I
Yeah.
can't imagine that at this level it's any different from ours.
I
The
don't
captain
yeah, the
isn't who you bribe.
sentencing like
Yeah, that's the you bribe the judge, which I mean I don't know.
yeah, it's not the person.
Maybe captain has that pool, but like captain got to
Yeah.
decide like yeah I'll only send them away for 5 years. Um,
Yeah. I kind of thought it was funny where like Kent kept pushing for like no prison, no prison, and the chief was like 5 years, and he's like no, and then Fidel and Bison are like actually yeah, we'll take 5 years.
yeah, I mean
They're like actually compared to anything else that we'll take that. That sounds pretty good.
yeah I mean that was the best deal they were gonna get regardless, right? So,
Yeah.
um, but Kant does still use his blackmail, to negotiate for them also to get an extra day to say goodbye properly,
Flee the country now.
right? Um,
Yeah. But I guess they're pretty happy with the 5 years, so
yeah, it's 5 years and then they get to live normal life, right?
yeah,
So,
all of them
yeah,
is the deal.
so I would have taken the 5 years too at that point, like,
Yeah.
um, yeah, and then okay, oh, this was rough for me. Um, So Fidel then stays the night with Style, of course, and then they're having breakfast with his dad in the morning, and his dad's Style's dad is all on board for like them getting married, and Fidel's like, "Give me 5 years." And I'm like,
Oh. Yeah.
and so we have that, and then Kant and Bison they go on a museum date, um,
Mhm.
which is so cute. But every time they're having like cute moments, the stupid kid keeps running up and ruining it.
I know.
Like,
I'm like
which-
ban kids.
right? It was so frustrating, and it was
Yeah.
like it was funny like the first time because it was like right why like can't like fake proposed because they were standing at like the spot that Cant's parents proposed at and Cant like got down on one knee and Bison was like, "What are you doing?" And Cant's like, "Did you think I was really gonna propose to you?" And Bison's like, "You surprise me all the time. How am I supposed to know?"
Yeah.
And so they're doing that and they're having these other cute moments and every time they have a cute moment, this kid always runs up and it's so annoying. And it's like, please stop. It was funny once, not a second time.
Yeah. Right.
Um So they have that, but they are having cute moments. And then Fidel and Style are playing some sort of, it's not paintball, but it's like they're throwing bags of paint at each other. I don't
I don't
understand what
even
it is,
know.
but it looked like it was fun. Um, I don't know how much of that was
Better than paintball.
yeah, I don't know how much of that was Fidel Style and how much of that was just Jung and Dunk,
Yeah.
to be honest. But they also have really cute moments. At one point when they get tired and they're like sitting on the ground next to each other and they're being so cute until Fidel slams another thing of paint on Style and takes off running. And then we have Fidel being Fidel. Um, Fidel takes Style to the grave that he dug previously.
He's so emo.
Yeah, he is, and he now has a tombstone where it has Fidel's name on it and like his birth year and a dash with like the death year open. Styles like,
That's so baller.
right? Style is like, what? And Fidel's like, yeah, the only one, like I have a high risk job, whatever, lifestyle. And Fidel's like, the only person that would cry for me to die would be Bison. And Styles like, I'm standing right here.
Yeah,
Like, he took
bitch.
that so personal, which valid. Um,
Take your boyfriend to your own grave on your date.
right? Like, the last day you guys are gonna see each other before you go to jail for 5 years, and you're gonna go take him to your grave. Like, okay. Um,
Yeah.
but then it's such a weirdly romantic moment because they're both sitting on the ground, like with their like leaning against this tombstone, and they're just kind of like talking about life and whatever and stuff, and like even Style is like, you're weirdly romantic. And Fidel's like, what? And he was like, yeah, like this isn't normal.
Yeah.
So, but it was so cute. I think this is where I started crying. Um, 'cause
Oh.
it was such a moment. Um,
Mhm.
I will say I am emo. I am not going on a date to my own grave emo.
Oh, I'm all about that.
I have I
I
have
love it.
I have done the graveyard date before. I just
Ooh. Not your own.
just not my own. There's a line.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair. I don't think most people have their own
no.
grave while they're alive.
No.
Maybe like a plot sometimes, but
Yeah.
like not the headstone. You don't make that yourself.
No. I mean, I guess if you have some sort of like terminal cancer or something, like maybe,
That's
like why
true.
not? Like
Yeah.
if you've got the time to plan out something extravagant, you might as well. Um,
Yeah, make sure you like it, you
yeah.
know?
I just had a moment of like, wait, do I need to plan one now?
Yeah.
Like, no, Alex, chill. Um,
No, not yet. Not yet.
um, so while they're doing that, Kant and Bison are still at like this museum thing, and they're in like the planetarium part of it, I guess. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's one of those where you're like in the room and like the ceiling is like the sky and stuff. Like almost like
Hmm.
a movie theater type of thing, but like big.
Yeah.
Um, and Bison is having his moment where he's telling Kant all about like the Milky Way and like how like Western media has it this way, and then Ty has like their own story behind it, and Kant's just like eating it up of like, yes, tell me about your interests.
I'm having flashbacks to Pluto when they're in the planetarium too.
Hmm. And it's such a cute moment. And then Kant is having his like, show me the Milky Way as he's trying to undress Bison. Um, like okay. Um, and then here's where I really cried. So Fidel and Style, they're back at the group therapy place, but it's just them, and they're sitting across from each other, and there's a bunch of empty chairs around them to make the circle, and Fidel's like talking, whatever, and it's like, like it's fine, if you um or like I forget exactly what they're saying, but they're having a strong moment, and like Fidel and Style's like, it's fine to open up to me. I'm here for like whatever emotions you're going through. And Fidel's getting kind of flirty with it, but not really. And Fidel's like, okay, what if I'm
Hmm.
sad? And Style's like, I'll cry with you. And he's like standing up and he's starting to walk towards Fidel. And then it's like, what if I'm whatever emotion? And Style like responds appropriately, and it just goes like that until Style like straddles Fidel. And It's one of those, I'm like, are we about to get like an NC scene? But no, it is such a like an intimate scene of them talking, and like, and then they do kiss, but it is like that. I'm not gonna get to do this again in a long time kiss, and even Styles like, I don't know when I'm gonna like get to kiss you again. You know, it's gonna be 5 years. Let me like get my fill for now, type of a thing. But it's such a like an emotional moment of that, and it was just
Hmm.
it hit. Um,
Yeah.
and then after that, they go back to the Heartburger. And Fidel's like cooking, and Styles like, "Did we really come here for you to cook?" And Fidel's like, "This is what I want to do. On like my last night, I just want to cook for
He
my
loves his burgers.
right." He's like, "I want to cook for my boyfriend, you know, and us just to have a nice meal." Um, and Fidel gives Style the heart pin burger, the heart burger pin. Um, and then they're in one of the booths, and there's like a ton of food, and like while they're eating, Fidel's doing his martyr bullshit. That's so just, oh, he's like, don't wait for me. It's fine. You know, you can just say that this was a fun period of your life. You know, no big deal. And Style, once again, takes that personal. He's like, I didn't go through all of this just to send you to prison and then move on with life. I don't know what you keep thinking, dude.
In all fairness, though, I would not be waiting like 5 years.
I,
Sorry.
you know,
That's a long time.
I would. I would have waited.
Oh my god. There's no way.
I would have, but I've also been just single for like the last like 10 years, so I just, what's the difference? Um,
That's fair.
God, has it been 10 years? No, it hasn't. It's been like 7. Not much better.
Yeah.
But I think especially knowing like I can still go visit, right? Like it's I'd be exactly what Style does is what I would have done, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Um
Yeah.
and which I don't know what that says about me, but
Yeah. It's sweet. I'm just like, that's such a long time.
yeah. To be fair, I would anticipate waiting, but we'll see. You know, it's one of those of like shit happens. Um
Mhm. Yeah.
but while they're having their dinner, Kant and Bison are giving each other tattoos. Kant gives Bison his first tattoo, and it's a puffin tattoo. Um,
Cute.
and Bison gives Kant a penguin tattoo, which
The penguin.
this is another moment where I'm like, there has to have been more of a time lapse in a lot of this than what we saw, because I know Kant was giving Bison tattooing lessons, but we only saw that like once. And the tattoo that Kant has from Bison looks great for somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
He's a natural.
Yeah, like they were talking about how like the lines weren't perfect or whatever, and I'm like, okay, the lines aren't perfect, sure, but like being able to know how much pressure to apply and like do all that is a lot harder than like the rest of it, right? Because the rest of it's just natural like artistic ability, basically, right? Which
Mhm.
we already knew Bison was good at because he was drawing earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Um, but still, it's fine. Um, and then so everyone is meeting up, so all 4 of them are meeting up and to go for Fidel and Bison to go, and there's a lot of tears. Everybody's very sad, including me. Um, and then Fidel and Bison, they go get handcuffed and they go get the SUV with Captain, and Style falls apart. Just absolutely falls apart. He's like hugging Can. They're like sitting on like the curb of like an abandoned gas station or something. And Style just is gone. And like Kant's upset too, but Kant is very clearly older brother here.
Mhm.
And he like having to kind of hold it together a little bit because Style has just out of everything that's happened, like Style cried a little bit in the Love Hotel, but like full sob.
Yeah.
That is my little cinnamon roll. Him crying. I can feel the tears in my eyes welling up again. Um,
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
yeah, I feel for him, but I also relate because I
Mhm.
would have been the exact same.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to watch them walk away.
Mm-hmm. Take me with
But
you.
yeah. Yeah, they actually I was for a while kind of curious like are they actually gonna go to prison and they go through with it.
Yep.
So, Yeah, we start episode 12 and it's year 1 in prison. Um Bison's kind of getting bullied by some guys and Fidel stops it. He's still like older brother protective mode.
Thank God.
Um yeah, right. But Bison again, he's like later getting harassed because like he's cute and stuff. And then he beats the guy with the shoe. So
Yeah.
that's the best way to deal with your problems, I think.
I mean, it worked. Like,
It does
that
work,
guy had a
yeah.
black eye from being beaten with a flip flop, so.
Yeah. Use what you got.
Hmm.
And Kant and Style, they come visit. So they do get visiting hours. Very few, but
Hmm.
they still have a little bit. Style is still not like holding up very well. Like just their visiting hours is like so small and like it sucks.
Yeah.
So
Style wants to be touchy touchy.
yeah, which isn't very good when you're in prison.
Yeah.
But luckily Kant comes up with an idea on how to get to spend more time with Bison and Fidel. He's scheming.
Hmm.
So Fidel and Bison, they get kitchen duty. They also find out they have to do vocational training. So they're keeping busy at least. But
Yeah.
um so Kant and Style, they go to the captain and they're like, "Hey, we need a way into the prison." And at first we're like, "What?"
Yeah. Even
But don't worry.
the captain was like, do what now?
Yeah. At first I was like, "Oh my god, are they going to commit a crime to like be put into prison?" But no, it's not nearly that bad.
Thank God.
Yeah. Basically, they have like classes in prison. So Bison has like an art class he goes to, and oh my god, surprise, Kant is the volunteer teacher for the art class in prison. And Fidel, of course, is taking the mechanic class. And oh my god, would you believe it? Style is the volunteer teacher for the mechanic class.
Funny how that worked
So,
out.
yeah, right? So they both found a way to like get into prison and
Yep.
see their loved ones for a little bit. Very convenient, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
And so Kant finds an excuse for him and Bison to sneak away so they can like talk and make out. I guess they're not guarded very heavily like at all.
No, they're not. 'Cause
No. Um and Style also finds an excuse for Fidel to like follow him so they can go make out. And this plan, it's working pretty well. We're at year 3 now. And it's Bison's birthday, and Bison notices like some people are having sex behind some sheets. Um, so that's like the spot to do it. So he like talks to another prisoner about it. Um, and like the prisoner, that like their job is to keep watch, so the two having sex don't get caught, like in exchange for like cigarettes or something, you know. Um, and so yeah, Bison, he takes notes. And so Kant comes to teach, and of course Bison sneaks him away to like behind the like curtains hanging up to dry in the same spot, and they go have sex in prison. Which is so ridiculous. Also, who is teaching this class? Kant is busy. He's gone, he's busy.
we're just gonna roll with it. It's fine. It's hilarious.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. They find it exciting, so
Yeah.
I'm happy for them.
That lookout is MVP. Um.
I know, honestly. Yeah, most valuable prisoner. And Fidel goes to mechanic class, but Style isn't there. So Style's in like the visitor room instead, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm super busy. I'm not able to like come as often." And Fidel basically breaks up with him because I think he's like
Starts
he
sulking
assumes
hardcore.
Style
Yeah.
is kind of drifting from this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. Oh, I didn't even see the JoJo
Oh
cameo,
yeah?
and I didn't even notice. I this whole episode, I was just kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Jojo gets his car repaired by Style. Um,
Oh hell yeah.
so
Yeah, I didn't even notice,
yeah.
but that's cute. I love when directors and stuff like give themselves little cameo.
Mhm.
So Cant gives Babe his first tattoo, which is just Cant's name, which like I'm so I'm sorry, but what siblings do you know that are gonna get each other's names tattooed? Like I have never once in my life heard of that.
No. So I could see a Can't getting Babe's name. Like that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
Like it makes sense for like parental figures to get their like children's names or
yeah,
something. But like to get your older brother's name tattoo, it's like have you ever met a sibling in real life?
no. But yeah, no, Babe's logic was like, I want the most important person as my as name on my tattoo. And I was like, oh, okay, if you say so. Like,
Yeah, cuz I see it a lot where it's like, "Oh, I'm going to get like representative flowers for everyone in my family," or like this is mine and my sister's favorite TV show, so we're going to get like a matching
mm,
tattoo of like a symbol from that show.
yeah.
But I've never heard of just straight up like my brother's name is Nate. So I just like on my arm, could you imagine if I just got Nate? Like even he would be like he it would be so weird.
I will say Kate was also like, you sure about that? So, but
Yeah.
like, he did it
That kid's
anyway.
gonna regret that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I would have made him like think about that for a while, but
Yeah. That's
yeah. I just thought that was funny. um and so Fidel now is still refusing to see Style, even though he's come to visit, and he's still teaching the class twice a week. Um but Fidel I guess has it in his mind that he's holding Style back, so he's like, you know, he's doing his thing where he's like pushing Style away.
yeah.
And Style sends like an origami note through Bison. Um, so Fidel finally goes to see Style at the mechanic shop, and Fidel is just like, yeah, I don't want you to be like disappointed and stuff. And Style is like, listen, I'm working on something for both of us and like for both of our futures. Like, don't worry about it. I'm not like pulling away from the relationship. I'm just like genuinely like busy.
Yeah. I don't blame Style because like Style like he like went on like a rant. He's like, I you came all this time and you made me, start to miss you when you're not here and all this, and then all of a sudden you just don't come. Like I don't want to be disappointed when you just ditch me basically. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I would probably have the same reaction, not gonna lie.
Yeah, right.
So I get it.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's essentially like a long distance relationship in a way, although they do get to teach there every like twice a week,
Mm,
but it's still not the same cuz you technically you can't like canoodle, but
yeah.
that doesn't stop can bison, so maybe you just can. But
Yeah.
it's still hard.
Mm.
And we make it to year 5.
Yay.
Freedom. Um so Style takes Fidel to Heartburger, and he's basically like before he kind of told Fidel like, oh, the landlord sold the building, but it's still a burger shop.
Mm.
Come to find out that Style is like the reason why he's been so busy is because he's been working so hard to buy it back for Fidel, which is so cute.
Adele sulking for
I
no reason.
I know, literally no reason. Like Styles just like doing something nice for him, he gets like broken up with over it.
Yeah, Styles said that he didn't want to outright say what he was doing because he wasn't sure it was gonna work, and so he didn't want to.
Mhm.
Honestly, he didn't want to disappoint, Fidel.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah. I also love that Fidel's main motivation in life and his life goal is to like flip burgers.
you know,
And I love that for
I
him.
do too.
Yeah, he needs some normalcy,
Mm-hmm.
but he's passionate about these burgers, so that's why Styles doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Cant and Bison, they just enjoy being out, being free. Cant tells Bison to move in with him. Babe gets a scholarship for school, and so he's gonna move out. So it seems like it'll all kind of work out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Except, Cant and Bison, they go to the tattoo shop, and it's trashed, and Babe isn't there, and Cant gets a note from Mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, stupid ass Lily's back because they didn't kill her in the first place. And so Style and Fidel, they also, at the mechanic shop, they also get a note. And Style's dad is missing, and it's all Lily's doing. So they have to go. I know, she's so annoying. Like, please, like, move on. They're not gonna, like, do anything. Like, they're not gonna bother you if you didn't just bother them. But the four of them, they go to dinner at Lily's house, and Babe and Styles' dad are being held captive. And Mom, Lily, she's like, I will let the four go free if they kill Babe and Styles' dad. Which, like, they're not gonna do.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you have that much power over them?
For a second there, it looked like that they were going to. So.
Yeah, that would have been crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
also, I was just thinking about, like, poor Styles' dad, because at this point, like, they told him that Fidel was studying abroad.
Yeah, he was like at culinary school or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in burger school for 5 years learning
Yeah.
how to make a burger. And now he's just, like, kidnapped, and he, like, finds all this out. But I guess Babe, I don't know, Babe probably didn't know about the hitman situation either. But he knew that, I think he kind of got the impression that they had some dangerous company.
Yeah, I think Babe at least knew that the Bison was in jail for something.
Yeah.
Because like Bison gave books to, or excuse me, Babe gave books to Bison while he was in jail. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, he. I feel
He
like
at least knew that much.
yeah, I feel like Camp would have told him like the bare minimum. So this is
Yeah.
why he's constantly going back and forth to the prison.
Yeah. Poor Fidel's, or poor Styles' dad is just completely,
Mhm.
like, out of the loop here.
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of killing their literal family, instead of killing the last family members that any of them have left, Fidel and Bison, they throw, like, there's poisoned wine on the table, and they throw it at the guards instead, and they, like, get their guns, and the guards are killed, but, like, Fidel and Bison make Lily drink the poisoned wine. So
now she's
I
dead.
guess it works out. Yeah. So that takes care of that, at least.
Mhm.
So they get their revenge at the end of the day.
Yep.
And they get to live a happy life now. So Cant and Bison, they go see the Northern Lights. And the green screen is, like, so bad, but
It is.
I mean, I'll give it to them. That's hard to do on a budget.
Mhm.
Fidel finally admits that, like, that Style is his 100%. So, like, he finally, like, completely trusts him and loves him and stuff. Yeah. And apparently Styles' dad is now, he's just, like, fine with Fidel being a former hitman. And he was like, he's probably just like, oh, the burger guy.
Yeah.
They lied to me about the 5-year burger school. I can't believe it.
How the show ends is Fidel's like,
Yeah.
so your dad now knows that I was a hitman and that I was in jail for 5 years. Is he fine with that? And Stell's like, yeah, he's fine with it. He said that I needed somebody like that. I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, he is related to Style, so
I mean,
maybe.
yeah, I guess. I just know my mother. If I was like, hey, so the guy I'm dating, he used to be a hitman for a politician. My mom would be like, "You're not dating."
No, and also he still has enemies to the point where they kidnapped you and tried to kill you. Like,
Right? It's like, okay, but mom, like, dad, whatever, like, it's been settled now. You watched that get settled.
yeah,
Like, oh my God.
yeah,
So, yeah, the apple
yeah.
did
And
not fall
that's
far from the
that's.
tree.
I guess not. They're both just like kind of crazy in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
that's the Hercules.
it was so good. I,
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I wouldn't say it's like my favorite or anything, but
No,
I did enjoy it.
no, I will say Style is my favorite character, period, in like anything, because
Yes.
he's with like, it's so hard to express just how unhinged he actually is. Like,
Uh huh.
Bison is scary unhinged because he's like a ticking time bomb at any given moment.
Mhm.
Style is scary unhinged because he's just flat out insane.
He just has like no regard for his like personal well-being.
Yeah, like he's Style's not gonna go around and kill anyone. Like
No.
Bison, I'd be worried about that for like the rest of my life. But Style is just
But like you just like can't threaten him at all, you know?
no, like he doesn't care.
No.
He's gonna, you threaten him, he's gonna go walk himself into the ocean.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah, Style's great. He's definitely my favorite part of the
Yeah.
show. Um
And then Style Fidel, like their whole like art in general is my favorite. I think it was more
yes.
fleshed out than Cant and Bison.
Yeah, I always think it's hard when like cuz Can and Bison they got together the first episode of the show essentially and
Hmm.
then they were just kind of super lovey-dovey since then.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like I'm not like the biggest fan of like straight fluff. Like
Hmm.
I love a chase. I love some angst. I love some
Yeah.
back and forth, whatever. And so yeah, I was like more of a fan of Fidel and Styles'
Hmm.
story just cuz it like gave me a little bit more than that instead of just like, oh, we met and now we're going on dates.
Yeah, I think the Cant and Bison arc was more about the like overall plot of like the whole like hitman and thing, whereas
Mhm.
Fidel and Style was definitely more about the like fighting for the relationship, basically.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah. So but it was a good time. It was a lot of fun. Um
Mhm.
it's definitely my favorite Jung Dunk show.
Yeah, this is the first one I've seen of them, so
So Hidden Agenda was good, but it's typical college show, right? Like I don't remember much
yeah.
of it. I know I didn't hate it. Um but it was one of those I'm like it this is one thing that I meant to bring up and I forgot. So, at first I thought this was a style thing, but this is a Dunk thing. The way Dunk kisses Jung,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Dunk has like a hand around the throat kink.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it.
Because it's not like from behind either. It's like like literally like a choking kink type of thing. Because he does it in Hidden Agenda too. Um,
It's just a good hand placement, you know?
yeah, because at first I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice style, whatever. But then I was watching one of like the big kiss scenes out of Hidden Agenda came up as a TikTok video, and I was watching. I was like, wait a second. I'm like, I know that hand placement.
He also like kisses with his eyes open slightly.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed.
Yes. Um, I was watching something else and people were complaining about that. Oh, what was it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
No, it serves a purpose, right?
Yeah, it's just like how people kiss.
Yeah. Oh, what was I watching where people were complaining? I don't remember now.
Was it Tampo? I don't think it
Maybe
was.
I think it was.
Maybe.
I think it was. I
Actually,
because
yeah.
Tame kisses with his eyes open. But
Yeah,
that also
yeah.
fits within character in my opinion though, of him watching to make sure that Poe is okay with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Cuz
Yeah.
Tame was always about making sure Poe was okay. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think it was that one. That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um
I feel like I saw that too or something,
yeah.
but
I didn't see anyone complain about it with Style or anytime with Dunk because it also just
mm-mm.
makes sense that Style would, you know, he wants to enjoy the show while he's enjoying the show, you know?
Yeah.
Um
It's just yeah, it's just like a way to do things, so.
yeah. So, But yeah, the hand around the throat thing cracked me up when I finally noticed it, and I was like, that's a dunk thing, not a style thing. Um,
Yeah, no, I love it.
yeah. So there's like specifically like a couple of like kiss NC scenes, I guess. It's tame NC scenes, I would say, um, from Hidden Agenda that are really good. Um,
Hmm.
and I haven't watched the other one they were in together, the Star in My Mind or whatever it is.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either.
So, but sometime this year, next year, we'll get their next show. Um, oh,
Yes, I'm excited for like the character switch
mm-hmm,
because like this time Dunk's gonna be playing like a more serious cop character, and June's gonna be more of the like flirty
mm-hmm.
one. So I'm excited to see that like reversal.
Yeah, so that one's Dare You to Death, which they said was next year, but I also heard mentioned this year, so I don't trust them. Um,
Who knows at that point?
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
it'll come out once it gets announced, and then it'll be out 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and then um, First and Tongue, of course, are gonna be in Cat for Cash, which
Hmm.
is gonna be absolute fluff. I think it's gonna be more serious than
Yes,
people think because I've seen a lot of people questioning, and they're like, "This doesn't look like it's gonna have a whole lot of plot to it."
that's how I feel always about like the like trailers and stuff
Yeah.
because they're always just like nothing really happening. So
Well, a lot of these don't have the script written. Um,
yeah,
and
that's true. Who knows?
because
No, not even the actors know.
right, so they have a general idea what the plot is, but because there's something they just started writing the script for it like last week. I don't remember what it was. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah. So I think Cat for Cash will have more plot than we think because there's all the family stuff and whatever. So I think it'll be good, but it'll be
Okay.
a change of pace. I think for First and Tongue.
Yeah, that'll be nice for them.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. Um, hope everyone else enjoyed the show because I did.
Yeah.
And then I guess you can find us on our socials as usual on Instagram and TikTok at bl.in.the.air, on Twitter at blintheair. Um, we're also on Discord. You can find the link for that in the link tree. And we're streaming wherever you're listening. We are with video on Spotify and YouTube, and just audio everywhere else.
Hmm.
And we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.